Good evening, Tribe fans, and Happy New Year. Welcome to Gerald Prim Stadium in Sulphur Springs for the beginning of a new era of Jacksonville high school football as the 2022 season gets underway. Jacksonville finds themselves back in Class 4A this year, District 9 4A Division 1. And with a new head coach, but a familiar face, Jacksonville alum Jason Holman at the helm. And you can see him down there on the field, the man in the hat, Matt Montgomery. When the hat comes out, it's football time in Texas. Happy New Year, partner.
Hey, Happy New Year. Happy football season. It's exciting. It's the opening season here in Sulphur Springs. What a beautiful stadium. This is the last time I've been here, or the last time I was here, it did not look anything like this. So Gerald Prim Stadium, very nice here in Sulphur Springs. Yes, the kickoff, two football teams that were in 5A, trapped in 5A, I should say, for the last several years. Finally, both Sulphur Springs and Jacksonville moving down to the Class 4A Division 1 rank. So it's going to be an interesting game tonight with two teams hungry to get off to a good start. Last year, this Sulphur Springs team was 0-10, Jacksonville 1-9. So there's a couple of teams there that are hungry for a win. You mentioned Jason Holman, the course class of 1990 from Jacksonville High School, was a great linebacker for the Fighting Indians back in the day, and went on to play at SFA. He is the first Jacksonville alum to be the athletic director and head football coach, and he's got quite a number of players on the roster. There's 46 suited out tonight. He had 50, and he had made some changes and sent some down to the JV so they could get some playing time. But, you know, Coach Holman he brings a lot of defensive experience, Aaron, to the table. He won a state championship as the defensive coordinator for Chapel Hill back in 2011. Then he went on to Lufkin High School, where he was the DC there for 3 years. And for the past 3 years, he was the head coach at Tatum High School. He's excited to be back in Jacksonville, and boy, he has a lot of young offensive weapons to work with. Of course, coming back for Jacksonville, senior quarterback Ryan McCown threw for 2,173. Last year, threw just under 50% completion rate, 14 touchdowns, 14 picks. Wants to improve on that for sure. And he's got just a bevy of wide receivers to throw to. Of course, none other than led by probably is going to go down as the greatest receiver in Jacksonville history. That's Devin McEwen, the 3-year starter, UTSA commit, recruited by several Division I colleges, was recently named to the first team for Beast Texas at wide receiver. And you'll see Devin playing on the offensive side, of course, catching the ball, but also some defense as well. But this is a deep Jacksonville team at the receiver position, Aaron. The big question will be, how does this offensive line come together? It's a place where Jacksonville has kind of struggled the last couple of years against the 5A competition size-wise. Now they kind of match up with some of the Class 4A Division I teams, but that's still a question mark coming into the season. The two scrimmages that Jacksonville had, they played well. They beat Kaufman. They beat Bullard. More impressively over Kaufman than they were Bullard. Were a little flat last week, but Coach Holman felt like got a lot of work in, got to see a lot of players, got to kind of see how guys performed. But it's Friday night, and it's a whole different ballgame, Aaron, as we always talk about. Friday night's the first one, especially for some of these guys that have never played varsity football. It's quite a different experience. Fans, this part of our countdown to kickoff is brought to you by Micah Hoffpower, class of 1998, Jacksonville High School, former Major League Baseball player, Texas Farm Bureau Agent Deluxe now. For all of your life, auto, homeowners needs, contact Micah Hoffpower at Texas Farm Bureau.
Yeah, and Matt, the Fighting Indians, as you said, getting ready to go here in a new season, and talking about Coach Holman's focus on the defensive side of the ball. One thing we have already been impressed by and commented on is Coach Holman coaches the safeties.
Yeah, you don't find many athletic director / head football coach actually as a position coach. But Coach Holman, being the defensive coordinator he is a position coach in coaching the safeties. That's rare. And, you know, Jacksonville doesn't have many returning starters back there. In fact, it's just one. It's Cash Bearden. He's it. Now, Devin McEwen played a lot there last year, but again, you know, with the receiving that he is required to do for Jacksonville, he didn't play much on the defensive side of the ball the last couple of years. Coach Holman's going to have Devin back there. But so there's some new guys in that defensive backfield. Again, going back to the offense, you got some guys that Ryan McCown's going to be able to get the ball to and throw that did well in the scrimmages. Coda Kennedy caught 4 touchdowns in those 2 scrimmages. And Jermaine Taylor, you'll see him at wide receiver, running back. He's going to play linebacker on defense. A lot of these guys are going to play both sides of the ball, Ryan. That's just, Aaron, that's just the way that's the way that Coach Holman said it's going to have to be for right now until they can maybe grow the numbers a little bit and get guys going maybe 2 platooning. But I mentioned the offensive line a moment ago. Running the football is going to be key for Jacksonville. Can they control the ball? Last year it was a pass-dominated team in Jacksonville. They only rushed for 853 yards for the whole season. But this year they've got a big running back in Jaden Boyd. He's a junior, 240 pounds. He can go. Joellen Kennedy, a senior, is a scat back type. He's back there. Rolando Munoz will get some carries, and Trent Powell also will get some carries too. So it's going to be kind of a running back by committee for Jacksonville. On the defensive side of the ball, new defensive coordinator Bradley Gandy has 7 defensive starters back from last year, if you include Devin, who really didn't start. But I'm going to throw him in there because he's going to play a lot defensively. So some new faces are going to have to step up, and particularly in the secondary. Coach Holman feels pretty good about his defensive front. And so new offensive coordinator Jason McClendon, he feels really good about spreading the ball out and giving Ryan McCown a lot of different options instead of just the deep vertical ball, some underneath stuff, some guys coming out of the backfield. So watch for that tonight.
Yeah, Matt, and also talking about options, one thing we can look forward to from Ryan is a little bit more of the read option game as well.
Yeah, and that's something that, when you don't have a real solid backup quarterback, and that's what Jacksonville has faced for the last couple of years, you don't want to run your quarterback that much. Yeah, so you want to protect him. But hey, Jason McClendon, the OC, he's not holding back. You'll see Ryan McCown. He will pull that on some zone reads, and he can scoot. He's got some wheels. Remember the Crandall touchdown last year to open the season when he outran everybody. So you'll see some of that as well, him running the football. Another weapon.
Yeah, talking to Coach Holman a few weeks ago, getting ready for the season preview in the Cherokee and Herald newspaper, which you may have seen, he talked about the offensive mentality is one of balance this year. He said we're going to have more focus on the running game than Jacksonville had last year, and the reason for that is we want to keep opposing defenses on their toes, keep them guessing, and spread the field, make them go sideline to sideline with us, and we'll see how successful Jacksonville can be implementing that tonight. Obviously, the deep ball, always a threat with this receiving core, Matt, but hey, you mix in some of that underneath stuff you were talking about, some of the zone read or the read option stuff, and then you get a few running backs going, and it could be a whole different ball game.
Yeah, I think you'll find the Ryan McCown's checkdowns are going to be a little simpler than they have been. You'll see Jaden Boyd coming out of the backfield. He'll be your automatic check down safety valve out there if things are covered downfield. And you'll see some crossing routes, and that's going to be something interesting to see too when you got the speed guys like Devin McEwen and Jermaine Taylor. Those guys can fly. And I'm going to tell you, Coda Kennedy didn't play receiver much last year, but he made some spectacular catches in the scrimmages that really got the coaching staff excited. He's one of those guys that, you can throw it up in the end zone and he's going to go get it for the score. So Sulphur Springs, they have their hands from the coverage standpoint, covering receivers. They got a lot of guys to cover. Now, the guys to look for Sulphur Springs don't have too much information on them. We got the roster, and all I had was a number and a player. So you got to do a little digging to find out who the guys are. But their quarterback, I believe, is Brady Driver, number 4, and he can throw the ball pretty well. I watched their scrimmage against Lindale, one of the favorites in Jacksonville's District 9 4A Division 1, Class 4A Division 1. They played toe-to-toe with Lindale, and it was a close scrimmage, and they threw the ball well. They ran the ball well. They got a little scat back there. We'll spot him, but the guy they really want to get the ball is number 5, C.J. Williams. So you'll hear his name a lot tonight for Sulphur Springs on that side of the ball. Folks, this part of our countdown to kickoff is brought to you by JHS Class of 98, Micah Hoffpower, Texas Farm Bureau. For all your life, homeowners, and auto needs, call Micah Hoffpower at Texas Farm Bureau. Thank you, Micah, for sponsoring this part of our countdown to kickoff.
Yeah, Micah helped me with some insurance over the summer. Did a fantastic job. I still can't hit a curveball, but I'm not blaming that on Micah.
Yeah, I can't wait to our fans to get to see his spot that he has in our during the game when Ryan Travis runs those. It's I can't top that spot. I mean, that's when you're hitting in Wrigley Field and it's showing you parking one. I don't think we can touch that.
Yeah.
So Michael Hoffbauer, Texas Farm Bureau, does a great job for them. I mentioned the starters coming back for Jacksonville defensively. Let's talk about some of those guys. 3-year starter defensive tackle Caden Franklin. He's back, and he's an anchor down there for Jacksonville, and he's gotten stronger over the summer. Then you have another defensive tackle, massive 6'4", 260-pound DeVarian Boyd. Last year, played more defensive end. They moved him inside to play at the defensive tackle position. Then you got Lamar University commit Coda Kennedy. He's at linebacker. Jermaine Taylor's going to be at linebacker. I've already talked about those guys on the offensive side of the ball, but they'll be playing defense, and you'll see Jaden Boyd also at the linebacker position. Ryan Walker, the junior, had a solid sophomore season. He's back as well defensively. And Zadarius Hinton, the junior, 240 pounds, he's also back on that defensive line. But again, the big challenge for Jacksonville defensively is going to be in that secondary, and I'll be interested to see if Sulphur Springs tries to test Jacksonville's secondary, who only has one starter back, Cash Bearden.
Well, we will see how Coach Holman has the secondary tuned up. Speaking of head coach Jason Holman, we're going to bring it back up into the press box and set up the first smoke signals of the year so you can hear from head coach Jason Holman with our very own Matt Montgomery.
Dr. Folden, Dr. Westbrook, Dr. Stocks, and their dental team at All Smiles provide a wide range of dental services. This includes cleanings, fillings, crowns, bridges, implants, and cosmetic dental care. Call and schedule your appointment at 903-586-0741.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Smoke Signal, sponsored by All Smiles Dentistry. I'm Matt Montgomery, along with Athletic Director and Head Football Coach Jason Holman. And, Coach, your maiden voyage here on Smoke Signals. I appreciate you joining us. And you've had a couple of weeks of camp, actually 3 weeks of camp, and a couple of scrimmages. Your overall impression so far about how things are going?
Well, first of all, let me say I'm excited to be here. We've got a good group of kids that we're excited to coach, and we've got a good coaching staff to coach them. Yeah, we've had a good, successful camp up to this point. Of course, a lot of new schemes, a lot of offensively, both offensively, defensively, and in the kicking game. Brand new, so there's plenty of kinks to work out, plenty of things to fix and to tweak, but the kids are working hard. They're excited about what they're doing. I think they're getting ready to start the regular season. They're excited about it.
This is probably a lot of people's first opportunity to get to hear you. You've been here since the spring. Just a little trivia, you're the first Jacksonville High School graduate who's ever been the athletic director and head football coach, so congratulations on that. That's interesting. So talk a bit about getting here and getting set up, and you brought your coordinators with you, and that's always a good thing when you can bring some of your staff with you, I know.
Yeah. We were a little delayed in the transition. Both my coordinators that I had previously with me at Tatum weren't actually able to come over till the school year ended, so they didn't get here until the end of May, and that delayed us a little bit. But honestly, I think it might have been a great thing for us, because really what we really focused on was getting in the weight room, getting stronger. We instilled our discipline, our mental attitude towards work, and being able to work hard, and got a lot of gains in the weight room and built upon that during that time. But at the point in time they got here, we got started with our summer workouts, started installing schemes, and started going.
Coach, you had great participation in the summer. Numbers are up. I mean, you're from freshmen on up. You got a lot more players.
Yeah, we're pretty full. We're spilling out of
almost a helmet shortage
house right now.
Yeah,
and there's that problem too. But that's a great problem to have.
Sure.
I'd much rather have that problem than have to go searching for kids to come out and play. So I think that speaks to the fact there's some excitement, and the kids are anxious and ready to go play.
Of course, we'll talk about Sulphur Springs here in a few minutes, but let's talk about your scrimmages. You opened up in Kaufman, where it was 105 on the field, just a blistering day, and y'all had a long scrimmage. Talk about the kids' performance and how you thought they did that first scrimmage.
First first experience going out and playing. I thought they participated and competed very well. Thought we ran around well defensively, chased the ball, swarmed the ball, and offensively, I thought we made some big plays, but we also were able to sustain some drives, and actually won it at the end in regulation in the 2 quarters that we played. So I was very pleased with our first outing. You never really know what to expect when things are brand new. You anticipate some mistakes and errors, but the effort was good.
I know that it was just a scrimmage, but I know you were really happy because at the end of the scrimmage during the live part, your team had a chance to maybe, I won't say lay down, but they had to fight to get back in it and get the win.
Yeah, we were behind. We were down, I believe it was 14-10 at that point. And then we made a big play over the middle. Jermaine Taylor caught a post ball for a touchdown. And then we showed up defensively because they had about 3 minutes left to drive, and we got an interception and took the ball back from them. Got the ball offensively around midfield and came down to a 4th and 1 on our end of the field around the 45, somewhere in that area, and converted the big first down and run the clock out. So I was very excited because we did what we had to do to win it.
And then Bullard comes to Tomato Bowl last week, and what would you say were some of the things that your team did well against Bullard last week and didn't do so well?
Well, I don't know if it was the first experience of being at home and playing in front of a home crowd, but we seemed to be a little tenser versus Bullard. Maybe it's the fact they're 30 minutes down the road. I don't know. But I thought we were looser and ready to play at Kaufman. I thought we were a little bit off our game, particularly to start there against Bullard. Once we settled in and we got some things going, then things improved. In addition to that, obviously we were installing. So there were some things that we were doing that were new, and they're not fully worked out yet. And we had some difficulty, some in the passing game and a little bit defensively. But we got to go out. We got to get it on with another team and actually get another opportunity to kind of hone our craft. So we're where we need to be at this point.
Of course, you're a defensive coordinator by trade, won a state championship with Chapel Hill there and went to Lufkin, had successful years there. Talk about the mentality that you would like to bring to this team, this program, as a former defensive coordinator.
Well, I guess you would say kind of the recipe has been we want to be known for being physical and playing fast. And when you can do that, if you're playing fast, that means you have confidence in what you're doing. You know how to execute on both sides of the ball. Obviously, the physicality part of it, we want to intimidate opponents. We want to be able to impose our will on opponents, and that's an attitude thing.
Yeah.
It takes a while to develop, but it's that mentality of never give up. We're never in a situation where we're thinking about a loss. We're thinking about the next play, and that's where we want our focus to be.
Offensively, Coach, you have so many weapons. Of course, Ryan McCown's back at quarterback, and anytime you bring your quarterback back from the previous years of experience, that's always a good thing. And, of course, you've got Division I commitments. You've got Devin McEwen. You got Jermaine Taylor, a junior, Coda Kennedy. You really have some weapons. Jaden Boyd in the backfield. Talk about some of the kids that you really think are going to make a difference.
Well, obviously we're going to lean on those guys quite a bit. Some of those guys are going to have to play both ways. They're going to have to be involved on both sides of the football. We've got to do a great job of keeping up with them and giving them ample rest when needed so that they're available for us in the fourth quarter. And that takes a lot of organization on our part and making sure we don't just burn them up in the first half. But yeah, all things considered equal, I really like our chances offensively. Like you say, we've got a lot of threats. It opens the field up to do a lot of different things and attack them in a lot of areas. So that's always a blessing to have, no question.
So Jacksonville's headed to Sulphur Springs. Kickoff coming up at 7:30 in Sulphur Springs. And Coach, this is a team in Sulphur Springs. They were 0-10 last year. They have a new coach. I watched their 2 scrimmages on Huddle. They're not bad. They have a good front. They really played pretty even keel with Lindale, one of our district favorites. And then they really put it on White House running the football. So talk about Sulphur Springs and what they do well.
Well, they've got a really quick tailback that runs hard. We're going to have to tackle well. You can't park your feet and wait on him to make a move because he'll make you miss. So we're going to have to attack him with leverage and make plays. They've got a good scheme up front. They seem to be, they know what they're doing. I think they had a little bit of an edge on us. Coach Faircloth got in there a little bit before I got here, or at least I got my coordinators here. I think a little bit of edge on us in that regard. But, I like our chances how we match up with them up front from their offense versus our defense. They're not overwhelmingly huge. They're in the right place and they block well, but they're not overwhelmingly huge. So if we can establish a line of scrimmage on the defensive line and reset it, then, I like our chances there. Defensively, they do have some pretty aggressive front two interior guys. They'll come off the ball, they'll knock you straight in the backfield if you're not ready for them. They do a good job of swarming. I think their strength is their front four. In the back end, they're kind of like us. They're still trying to hone and tweak some things and work on some techniques on the back end for them. But all in all, a good football team and a worthy opponent.
I always talk about first games, and first games are just crazy. I mean, you have to get it out of your system, even though you've had scrimmages. But boy, on Friday night, when the band's out there and everybody's playing, it's always a unique experience. And I know you got a lot of young players, but you also have a really strong senior class. A lot of guys back.
We've got 30 seniors, and that's a makeup of a 50-man roster.
Yeah.
So, we're very senior heavy. We're going to look to those guys for some leadership. Those guys, the guys that have been in the fire, most of them. And, we're going to lean on them when things get kind of crazy. They need to kind of be the calming voice for us and say, hey, man, it's just a football game. The band's playing. It's okay. Communicate well, and you'll be all right. That's what we're going to look for from our seniors and our leaders.
You and your staff, what's your philosophy on non-district games? Is it, hey, we're going to play everybody we can to get ready for district? We got to get our slots filled. We got to know who's going to be on the bus with us. How do you look at these non-district games as opposed to going into district?
Well, of course you can say they don't matter, but they do. We're playing to win. There's no question about that. We want to come out of the gates. We want to get a great feeling about ourselves, and we want to be one of half the teams in the state of Texas in 4A Division I that are 1-0. And so that would be the primary goal. In addition to that, we got to, we're still working on some roster positions and things of that nature. We need to be able to play some kids in certain positions and certain opportunities and field position and that sort of thing, so that they can get some reps and become a contributing factor to the varsity football team. So as coaches, we kind of have to gauge and monitor that, but don't make any mistake. We're going to win. So that would be the goal.
Well, talk about the keys to the game. What do you see after watching them on film and your two scrimmages? What do you think are the keys to the game to get the win for Jacksonville?
Well, there's no question. Take care of the football. If you win the kicking game, you stand an outstanding chance to win a ball game. I told the kids that yesterday, and I told them, I said, remember I said this, we'll win the kicking game. We'll win the game. And I just feel like in this situation, they've got a new staff, we've got a new staff. The kicking game is the wild card, and it's up in the air. So that's one area where I feel like if we can get that notch in our belt and win that phase of the game, then we stand a great opportunity to win the football game. Of course, we can't survive with big plays. We gave a few too many big plays up the other night against Bullard. We've got to keep that under control. We've got to make people drive down the field and execute in order, to score. And just make them execute all the way down the field. And then offensively, we've got to be technical. We've got to know what we're doing. We've got to fit up on the run game. We've got to run accurate routes and know where we're going with the football. So there's a lot involved, but I think all boils down to if we take care of the football and do what we're supposed to do offensively, and then we win the kicking game phase, I think we stand a great chance of winning.
Jacksonville versus Sulphur Springs here at Wildcat Stadium. Kickoff coming up at 7:30. For head coach Jason Holman, I'm Matt Montgomery. We'll see you next time right here on Smoke Signals.
And we're back live here at Gerald Prim Stadium in Sulphur Springs. Again, thank you to All Smiles Dentistry for sponsoring Smoke Signals and all our conversations with head coach I knew I would do that, head coach Jason Holman.
Hey, I'm with you, man.
There's a new guy.
Yeah.
In charge, and it's Jason Holman, and we are thankful that he took the time to speak with us. And Matt, let's talk a little bit about the Jacksonville Sulphur Springs matchup.
Yeah, this will be the 9th all-time meeting between these two schools. They have split 4-4, so we got a little rubber match here tonight. They met for the first time in 1949. Jacksonville won that game 22-13. 2 of the 8 times that Jacksonville has played Sulphur Springs was in the playoffs. In 1993, Jacksonville faced Sulphur Springs up in Mesquite, and Jacksonville in that area contest, and Jacksonville was led by a junior by the name of Randy McCowan. And Sulphur Springs won that game. Of course, Randy, the father of current quarterback Ryan McCowan. The second playoff game was a memorable one at Rose Stadium in 2010. It was just a barn burner. Jacksonville was leading Sulphur Springs at the half, 28-14. And back and forth in the second half, and Sulphur came out 56-52. Jacksonville was driving, got down to the, 7-yard line when the time ran out, but what an amazing game. Sulphur Springs won that. Of course, this is a Sulphur Springs team that was 2 years removed from a state championship in that 2010 playoff game at Rose. They won it in 2008, and as you look around the stadium, they show that a lot. 2008 4A state champs right there on the scoreboard. It's all over the place. So, and by the way, a little trivia here. 2 of the coaches that are on the current staff for Sulphur Springs, one of them is Tyree Rollinson, who was the quarterback for that 2008 state champion Sulphur Springs team, went to Auburn and was replaced by a guy, I can't remember his name, was it Cam Newton?
Something like that.
So he transferred. He's on staff here, is Tyreek for Sulphur Springs. And also Keenan Clayton, a 4-year NFL linebacker who Jacksonville also played, I believe it was in the mid-2000s when Keenan Clayton was playing here at Sulphur Springs, played in the NFL as a linebacker. So a couple of pedigrees on that staff for Sulphur Springs as the Jacksonville High School Band, you can hear in the background playing the school song for the Fighting Indians. So head coach Brandon Faircloth, his first year, so we got 2 first-year coaches tonight, first year at their schools respectively, I should say. Jason Holman coming from Tatum, spent 3 years there as a head coach. But Brandon Faircloth, he had a pretty successful run down at Port Neches Groves before heading here to Sulphur Springs. He took Port Neches Groves to the playoffs in 12 of his 13 years there as head coach. And I know we were scratching our heads, why Sulphur Springs? Why did he come? I'm going to do a little digging. I'm going to try to find out what happened on that deal. And I don't know if it's money. I don't know what it was. But that's a pretty successful program down there at P&G, as Jacksonville fans know. We've had quite a history with P&G in the playoffs back in the 2000s and then in the 90s. So his first year here at Sulphur Springs, and again, he's inheriting a team that can't go anywhere but up. They were 0-10 last year, but Sulphur Springs lost 2 games last year, 1 in overtime, 1 in triple overtime. So they were really close. And Coach Faircloth, it really feels good about this team. They had, as I said earlier, had a great scrimmage against Lindale, one of Jacksonville's district opponents, did a nice job. So as we get closer to kickoff, fans, I want to remind you this part of our countdown to kickoff is brought to you by our good friends at Dairy Queen. Gene Bromelo, JHS class of 1967, and his daughter Ann Farmer, JHS class of 2006. Did I get that right, Aaron?
That's right.
Okay. It's only like 4 years in a row that I've had to remember that.
There you go.
But we appreciate Ann and his daughter, Gene and his daughter Ann, I'll get that right, for sponsoring this part of our countdown to kickoff. And it's not too sticky down here, but a Dairy Queen Blizzard sure would be good about right now.
Yeah, they always hit the spot. It could be the middle of winter, and I would still go for a blizzard.
Anytime. So as Sulphur Springs now is about to come out of their run through, they got the SS on the side of the helmet right there. And speaking of helmets, Jacksonville comes in with a little bit of a new look tonight, guys. The helmets that Jacksonville's had for the last 7 years, Jason Holman came in and kind of made a few changes in that department. You're going to have the spear on the side of the helmet, shades of the 90s when Coach Danny Long was here. And they've got a metallic old gold, which is Jacksonville, that's the gold color, the old gold stripe down the middle of that helmet, and it's a wide stripe. It looks pretty cool. You'll see it when the team comes out here in just a moment. But new jerseys, new helmets, new coach. It's going to be a great year, guys. I can feel it. I feel it. All right?
Yeah, new old district.
Yeah.
Said earlier, familiar places and new faces, and here comes the Tribe.
I always like that run through when you're on the road and you kind of know where to go. You come through the run through, everybody gets to midfield and kind of turns around and says, "Okay, now what do we do?" Because at Tomato Bowl, you kind of have it choreographed. You know what you're going to do. You know where you're going to go. When you're on the road, it's a little different.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they just kind of came down and looked around.
Because at home, you're going to midfield. If you do that on the road, you might get George Teagued.
Give it to me. Give it to me. All right, buddy. Here we go. Where is he? All right, they're going to do the national anthem right here. We'll get those guys here. Let me find my guys here. Oh, praying.
I ask that you lay a hand over everyone on and off the field to give us protection and encourage the players to kick off the season right by giving their all. We're so grateful for our family, friends, and supporters tonight. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
And now remain standing for the national anthem. Being played by the Sulphur Springs High School Wildcat Band under the direction of Spencer Emmert.
Let's go. Let's go. Sulphur Springs High School Band with a national anthem. We're about ready to go here at Prim Stadium in Sulphur Springs to kick off the 2022 season. Jacksonville and Sulphur Springs. As the captains line up, I'm not sure if they flipped before or after, but I'm going to walk out there with them and see if I can catch the talk here by the officials. And we'll see if we can get this live and in color. Like I said, sometimes they flip this coin before the game. Sometimes they do it live. Let's see what we'll find out right here. Ryan McCown, captain for Jacksonville, along with the big fella, Alexis Martinez Orozco, and Caden Franklin. Let's get the mic in here and let's see if we can hear what the conversation.
Tonight for the Indians. Number 4, Ryan McCown. 53, Caden Franklin. 78, Alex Martinez Orozco.
We've already done the toss, so Springs is one, and y'all gonna be.
There's that mystery gone. They've already done the toss. Sulphur Springs won the toss. Jacksonville is going to kick it off to Sulphur Springs. Jacksonville will be going from left to right. No, actually, Sulphur Springs just deferred. I'm sorry. Jacksonville's going to get the football offensively to start the game. So Jacksonville will get the football to start. We'll see that high-powered Jacksonville offense on the field as the Sulphur Springs Wildcats will kick off to Jacksonville to start the season. One of the things you may hear on the sideline over my field mic here is you're going to hear something RTB, RTB, row the boat. That's the motto of this Jacksonville football team. Jason Holman adopted that for his team, and boy, you could really hear it in the scrimmages. It really sounded pretty cool when everything's kind of got down a little bit. You'd hear that sideline, RTB, RTB. So just in case y'all are wondering what that is, there you go.
Yeah, of course, row the boat for those college football fans will remember when head coach P.J. Fleck, who is now at Minnesota, he was at Western Michigan, and he made that famous. I don't know if he was the first coach to use it, but so much so that at Western Michigan and now at Minnesota, they have worked a boat paddle into their uniforms.
There you go. That's pretty cool. One other thing about the helmets that's nice to see is each player has his number on the bottom left-hand side of the helmet. You know when guys are going over trying to find their helmet? Well, you got your number on it. You shouldn't lose it. You can identify that. So dropping back for Jacksonville will be Jermaine Taylor and Devin McEwen, two of the big playmakers for Jacksonville. They're flanked also by Jaden Boyd. So we're set to go. Jacksonville, Sulphur Springs. It's the start of high school football across the state of Texas. Everybody starting on the same night this year. Well, some guys played last night, but the same week anyway. Kicking off for Sulphur Springs will be Uriel Santa Cruz. We're set to go. Glad you're with us here on JHS-sports.com. And with your play-by-play, here's Aaron Swing.
The teams are set. And we are underway in 2022. A short kickoff to the near side, fielded cleanly by McEwen. He's out over the 30-yard line and spilled down at about the 32, where the Fighting Indians will take over.
So Jacksonville offensively will start Ryan McCown at quarterback. Jaden Boyd will be in the backfield at the running back position. Ryan Walker at the H-backup position. He played last year as a sophomore. Fighting Indians made a couple of moves offensively in the offensive line. They moved Alexis Martinez over to center after the first scrimmage. And here's Jacksonville with the first possession of the season. They'll start it at their own 32-yard line. And it's Jawalen Kennedy in the backfield by Ryan McCowan.
Three receivers left, one right. The Indians in the shotgun spread, as they will be all season. McCowan fires out to his left, looking for Kennedy out of the backfield, but incomplete.
Yeah, just not a good throw that time by Ryan. I mean, you got to get settled down. Everybody's adrenaline's going about 99 miles an hour right now. Just a little quick flip pass, and he just kind of grounded in front of Jawalen. So 2nd and 10 on the incompletion.
So the Indians now with a two-back set. Two receivers right, one left. McCowan hands off, stretch play coming near side.
Kennedy.
And Kennedy takes a shot at about the 39-yard line as he gets around the corner.
Got the edge right there. Nice kick-out block by H-back Ryan Walker, the junior. He'll pick up 9 yards to make it third down. We'll call it third and about a yard and a half for Jacksonville. Nice run by Kennedy, the senior.
Ball sitting on the Jacksonville 40-yard line as the Indians look to pick up the first down of the season. The handoff
Big fella.
is to the left side to Boyd.
He'll get it.
And
well, he's short. Actually, he's short.
yeah, they're going to mark him just short.
Thought he tumbled forward a little bit forward, but he going to be short. Jason Holman trying to make that decision right here, and he's a little frustrated because that's the kind of play that you put Jaden Boyd in the game for to get that yard and a half. Jacksonville's going to go ahead and punt the football. Skylar Whitaker, the senior, will come on to punt for Jacksonville. Cooper Faircloth, the coach's son for Sulphur Springs, will drop back along with Jackson Hare.
So Whitaker looking to pin Sulphur Springs deep with the first punt of the season.
I got a whistle.
Plays whistle dead as kick was not a very good one.
No. Got a little warm up there. You know, kind of a little mulligan. All right, you know, on the golf course. You get another shot. Got to step into it.
So delay of game against Jacksonville will move this back. Had a punting competition for Jacksonville between three players, and we may see all three, but right now it's Skylar Whitaker with the first punt. Snap is good. The kick away, straight up, end over end. Not very good. Let's see if we can get a Jacksonville bounce. A pretty good one, but now they'll have to down it. Well, the Indians, and they'll do that right at about the 35-yard line. So Sulphur Springs now takes over.
Got the good hop, did Skylar Whitaker. The first punt did not get the good hop. The second one, of course, that was penalized. The second one did. And Sulphur Springs will pretty much get the same field position that Jacksonville did to have their opening drive that went 3 and out. They'll start at the 35, Sulphur Springs will, their own 35. So it's quarterback Brady Driver. In the backfield with him is a number that I can't spot because he's got it tucked in. We'll get it.
Driver keeps around left end, and he will make his way to about the 39.
Yeah, that's Malachi Rowland, the running back, and he had some pretty good yards. He's a little scooter right there, but that zone read right there by Brady Driver will pick up 5 yards for Sulphur.
Cash Bearden on the stop for the Fighting Indians.
We'll call it 4, 2nd and 6.
So now 2 receivers right, 1 left. H-back is on the right side for Driver and the Wildcats as he looks to the sideline to get the play. Now drops back into the shotgun set. Takes a snap, rolls right, looks that way, got a man right at the sticks. First down yardage to midfield.
Jackson Hare with the reception and just a quick sprint out pass. You'll see Sulphur Springs, they'll put their quarterbacks on the run on just about every throw. They don't drop back and set in the pocket. They're coming out because they're also runners. I saw their JV do that very well last night. They beat Jacksonville's JV 6-0 in a defensive slugfest. First down, Sulphur Springs. That pushes the ball into Jacksonville right at the 50, actually.
Driver takes the snap, fakes the handoff again, going to keep this time again. Big yardage inside the 30. Finally thrown down by Devin McEwen, but not before he makes his way to the red zone.
Again, it was that first play, zone read right there as Brady Driver read that well. Defensive end crash, he goes around the edge. Nobody there for Jacksonville. And Driver, the quarterback, with 2 big carries, he gets the first down to the Jacksonville 21-yard line, first down.
So 8:45 and counting. If you're just joining us, first quarter, no score here in Sulphur Springs. The home team driving. 2 receivers left, 1 right. Driver hands off straight ahead, still on his feet, and in for the score goes Malachi Rowland.
Well, just a little scat back right there. He kind of got lost in the shuffle. The Jacksonville linebackers got tangled up with the lineman, and before they knew it, he was right by him, Malachi Rowland. I mean, he's got to be 5'6", 150 at the most. And he just scooted right through the teeth of the Jacksonville defense. They just couldn't see him. So here's the extra point. Euro Santa Cruz on for Sulphur Springs. Cooper Faircloth will hold. Blocked.
Kick is blocked.
Caden Franklin with the blocked extra point for Jacksonville. Nice play by Franklin, the senior. 6-0.
Should mention that all kicks, field goals, and extra points are brought to you by our friends at Neighbors Coffee this year. Well, that one was decaffeinated.
Yeah, decaffeinated all the way to the bottom of the cup.
There you go.
So that's a terrible analogy, but I'm just, I'm trying to get in the swing of things with Neighbors Coffee.
There
we
you
really
go.
Appreciate them sponsoring all of our extra points and kickoffs and field goals for 2022.
Absolutely. 8:28 to go, first quarter. The score now: Sulphur Springs 6, Jacksonville nothing. We'll take a short break and come back. This is Fighting Indian Football on JHS-Sports.com.
Dr. Folden, Dr. Westbrook, Dr. Stocks, and their dental team at All Smiles provide a wide range of dental services. This includes cleanings, fillings, crowns, bridges, implants, and cosmetic dental care. Call and schedule your appointment at 903-586-0741.
Bill McRae Ford has been serving East Texans since 1976. They can help you find the best deal on a used car or if you're ready to purchase something new. Open Monday through Saturday. Bill McRae Ford. Come see us.
And we're back live at Gerald Prim Stadium in Sulphur Springs. 8:28 to go, first quarter. Sulphur Springs up 6-0 after the extra point was blocked. And Matt, the Indian defense showing a few holes there.
Yeah, they got some problems that they don't contain on the edge. Here's the kickoff.
Kick is out of bounds on the near side. That'll draw a flag.
Yeah, it was just some really good reads, 2 really good reads by Brady Driver. And boy, he kept it on the zone read, turned him into some yardage. And boy, that last play that Malachi Rowland just went right up the gut from 21 yards out for the Sulphur Springs score. Like I said earlier, right after the touchdown, he just kind of got in that area where he's 5'6", and when he's running, he's probably about 5'3", and he just scooted under everybody for the score. So here's Jacksonville's second offensive possession. They went 3 and out to start the game. They'll start this one at their own 30.
They'll go with 2 receivers each way again. Joellen Kennedy, the back on the right side of Ryan McCown. McCown going to drop back, set his feet, got some time. Now got to roll to his right. Still looking. Throws short, almost intercepted.
Yeah, going for Jermaine Taylor right there. And Ryan was telling Jermaine, bring it back. And when he did, boy, he almost got that pick by Riley Hammonds. Number 7 out of the secondary stepped right in front of it in the Sulphur Springs bench area, and fortunately for Jacksonville, Hammonds dropped that. So 2nd down, 10. Again, this is something that Jacksonville has struggled with last year, was not getting anything on 1st down, hardly anything on 2nd down, and 3rd and long. And they're setting that up again here, 2nd and 10.
So 3 receivers right. They'll try to fire that way. Well, the Indians, it's incomplete.
Just too low. I mean, you just got to it's just the hardest passes sometimes are the short.
Or the short ones,
It's kind of like at second base. You're at second base, you get that ground ball, there's first base, and you throw it over his head. And that's such an easy pass for Ryan McCown, and that's 2 of them that he's grounded in the dirt. And he just settle down. Everything's cool, but it's 3rd and 10 after that incompletion.
So passing down here, we'll see if Sulphur Springs brings pressure. McCown drops back, now going to climb the pocket, still looking, rolling left, and throwing to the far side.
John Johnson was out there, and it just bounced off his hands. It was high. And right now, Ryan McCown talking to his offensive coordinator, Jason McClennan, who's just trying to calm him down. And you don't have to do everything. I mean, Ryan's a leader. I mean, he was a starter last year as a junior, of course, and high expectations this year for his senior year, and he's just a little bit off right now. He'll calm down and be fine. So here's Skylar Whitaker with his 2nd punt for Jacksonville.
Snaps a little low. Whitaker able to pick it up, get the kick away. It's a nice Jacksonville bounce this time, and fielded at the 36.
That had to be the lowest punt in history, altitude-wise.
Yeah.
I mean, it just cleared the defensive linemen's heads.
Looks about like me off the tee box.
I mean, the 2 he had earlier just skied up in the air, and this one just barely cleared DeVarian Boyd, the 6'4" defensive tackle for Jacksonville, who was out there in the punt team. So here's Sulphur Springs leading 6-0, 7:59 remaining here, as you can see. Their 2nd possession.
So 2 receivers right. They're going to try to swing the pass out of the backfield, and it is caught.
Nice job.
And out to the 40 goes Malachi Rowland.
Michael Miles, the sophomore linebacker for Jacksonville. High hopes for him. He's starting as a sophomore, 10th grader on this defense that had 6-7 returning starters from last year. Says a lot about him. He makes a nice open field tackle on that little scat back. Malachi Rowland in open field, so he does pick up 5. 2nd and 5, that pushes the ball up to the Sulphur Springs 40.
7:25 and counting to go here in the 1st quarter. As Driver fakes another handoff, keeps. He's going to try to roll around the right end. Good pursuit.
There you go. What a nice job by Coach Kennedy. Oh, my goodness. And we got somebody down for Jacksonville. We'll check on that injury. But Coach Kennedy did a nice job containing. He just fought off the block and forced the quarterback Driver to skip to the outside right there. And just can't say enough about the job Coda did, just fighting off that block and shutting that play down. Driver picks up 2. It's 3rd and 3, and we'll check on this injury for Jacksonville. Looks like that may be Dominic Bowens, the junior, who's down on the turf. Let's take a break right now, Aaron.
We'll step away for a short break. This is Fighting Indian Football on JHS-sports.com.
Since 1953, Hubert Glass Oil has been serving East Texans the finest automotive fuels and lubricants. Hubert Glass Oil Company, the clear solution for your business.
The honey barbecue chicken strip sandwich is delicious. It's got that barbecue flavor.
Since 1953, Hubert Glass Oil has been serving East Texans.
Too early in the season for us to be fighting about all this.
But see, he's already off the field.
I know. And we're back live. It's the Fighting Indians player able to make his way off. None too worse for the Wares. Brings up a third down.
Well, Cooper Faircloth, the coach's son there. That's not his last name, the coach's son. It's actually Faircloth. I know I keep saying that. He was the only guy for Sulphur Springs took off.
He's probably gotten that his entire life.
Yeah, he just missed the snap count there. He'll check out of the game, or maybe not. He's a little embarrassed right now. So third down and 13 now. More like third and 11.
2 by 2, go the receivers. Driver going to pull it down, look to run, gets away from one tackle another, and he has first down yardage.
Unbelievable.
Jacksonville had him, it looked like, dead to rights, but you got to finish that off, Matt.
Man, how do you let him go? Zadarius Hinton and Caden Franklin. Oh, fellas. You guys are defensive linemen. You're supposed to be stronger than that. They just kind of wrapped him up and said, oh, he's down, and man, driver just planted his foot and came out of there and gets a first down. Jacksonville had a chance to get their defense off the field. Poor tackling.
So 1st and 10, ball sitting now at the Sulphur Springs 47, 6:45 and counting here in the first.
That's motion. Come on now.
Driver looking across the middle, got a man wide open. First down yardage.
Faircloth makes up for his mistake a moment ago with the reception, but gosh, there was movement. Malachi Rowland was not set in the backfield when that ball was snapped. Jacksonville coaches wanting a motion penalty on that because the quarterback driver went back to pick up his towel, looked at the play clock, and he went, oh, wow, there's 5 seconds on there. He got up there and hurried. I don't think they were set.
Yeah, it didn't look like Rowland was set, did it?
Yeah, no call. First down. So Jacksonville defensively, well, you really need to stop right here, man. You can't go down 2 scores in this first quarter.
Trips left, go the Wildcat receivers. The handoff, though, straight ahead. Kennedy having none of it.
Nice play by Coda Kennedy, just a misdirection. Again, using Malachi Rowland. He was over in the slot, and they brought him around the edge on a tossback. And, boy, Coda Kennedy, the senior Lamar University commit, said, I'm not going anywhere. And just form tackled him perfectly for the 1 yard loss, 2nd and 11.
Ball sitting at the Jacksonville 39-yard line for Driver and the Wildcats. Driver rolls to his left, fires left, pass is complete, and down inside the 30.
It's just a quick passing game that Sulphur Springs brings offensively against this Jacksonville defense. It's a 4-3 for Jacksonville, 4 down, 3 backers. And Jacksonville they're just in a cover 3 back there, and they're just picking on those corners right now.
Yeah, and Skylar Lewis, who made the catch, just a couple of good moves and turns that into positive yardage.
Yeah, big, nice
straight
tackle.
ahead, the handoff that time.
DeVarian Boyd for Jacksonville, the senior defensive tackle, jumped right into the backfield, and he rides Malachi Rowland down. So it's 4th down. Let's see what Coach Faircloth does for Sulphur Springs on 4th down and about a yard to go at the Jacksonville 29. He's leaving his offense on the field here, going for it on 4th.
Tight formation. There's one receiver split wide to the left side.
Jacksonville holding the water nicely right there. He's trying to draw him off.
Driver with the long snap count. He's going to keep it himself, and he's got the first down.
And then some. They're just shoving the pile. You got to give Driver credit, man. He puts his foot down, and he just drives. He just drives the pile. And this is your quarterback doing that kind of running right there. And he's a solid-looking dude, and he's showing it. 1st down at the Jacksonville 21 with 3:44 and counting here in this first quarter. 6-0 Sulphur, threatening again.
2-by-2 go the receivers this time. Roland the back with Driver. He gets the handoff. Does Roland this time? Jacksonville able to stuff up the middle.
Yeah, Caden Franklin and Miles, and also DeVarian Boyd in right there. And looks like the inside part of Jacksonville's defensive line starting to settle down a little bit. And they match up well, does Jacksonville, against Sulphur Springs offensive line. They're about the same size. No monsters up there that Jacksonville saw at the 5A level.
This time, Driver rolls to his right now. Hands off back left to Roland.
Good
Jacksonville play. Staying home again.
Jacksonville doing a nice job in those counter plays, reading that well and staying home. And nice play by, well, is that a number change right there? Because I know that's not, is that Kenny? No, that's 26. That's Davey Smith on the tackle. Doesn't look like Davey, but he's wearing number 26. That must be one of those number changes. 26 looks like Rolando Munoz. Is that what you guys have?
That was Coda on the tackle.
Well, I'm talking about 26 came up off the pilot linebacker. That's got to be Rolando. That's what I'm calling him. That's not Davey. 3rd down 9. Sulphur's going to take a timeout. They're first.
We'll take it with them. You're listening to Fighting Indian Football on JHS-Sports.com.
Gene Brumlow, class of 66, and his daughter Ann Farmer proudly support Jacksonville Athletics. Come on over to the South Jackson Dairy Queen and get one of their world-famous blizzards. Dairy Queen, where happy tastes good.
Tonight's game statistics are sponsored by Randy Gorham, CPA. Randy Gorham, CPA, the source for your accounting and income tax needs since 1984. Since 2004, Legends Old Time Burger Cafe has been the home of Jacksonville's best old-fashioned hamburgers. Hand-battered chicken strips, chicken fried steak, fries, and onion rings are the best around. Legends, home of Jacksonville's best old-fashioned hamburger.
And we are live back here at Gerald Prim Stadium in Sulphur Springs. 2:14 to go first quarter. Sulphur Springs leading Jacksonville by a score of 6-0. The ball sitting at the Jacksonville 20-yard line. It's a 3rd and 9 coming up. And, Matt, we were just talking about this Fighting Indian defense doing a nice job staying home on some of these counter plays, some of this misdirection. We'll see if they can make a big stop here.
Yeah, and they seem to be settling down against the run. They still haven't settled down against the pass. Let's see on 3rd and 9.
This time, Driver drops back, looks over the middle, got a man wide open.
It's going to be short by about a yard. Be 4th down and about a yard to go at the Jacksonville 12.
Yeah, the last time was 4th and short on this drive. Driver drove the pile for the first down.
And they're hurrying right here.
Driver takes, and he'll keep it again. This time he's going to try to stretch the play to the left side. He will not get it this time. Devin McEwen
knifes him down, just cut him. Driver, who's done a great job tonight in this first quarter so far, going to the edge and turning the corner. But that time, the D1 UTSA commit, Devin McEwen, comes and cuts him down. So Jacksonville stops the drive, and they'll get their 3rd offensive possession with 1:43 to go in this first quarter. They'll start it. Well, they mark the ball down right at the 12. No gain on the play. So let's see if Jacksonville can get something going offensively here. Again, they started the game at their first possession was at the 30, their second one at the 35, this one now at the 12. Jawalen Kennedy in the backfield at running back for Jacksonville, along with, of course, the quarterback Ryan McCowan.
They'll go 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. McCowan looking left, screen pass caught, and big yardage over there.
Jermaine.
Yeah, Taylor nearly to the sticks.
Yeah, if you go 11 minutes without Jermaine touching the ball, that's you got to fix that. And I know Jason Holman knows that. You got to get the ball out to your playmakers like that. He gets 9, or we'll call it 8, 2nd and 2.
So McCowan going with a long snap count here. Then he hands it off to Jawalen Kennedy. He's straight ahead, and he's got enough for the first. Bill McCray Ford, first down.
Yeah, just pushing the pile. Nice job. Get good blocking over there. Hagan Ray on that right side at right tackle. And also Blake Causey getting the start tonight at right guard for Jacksonville. They push the pile for Jacksonville's first. As you said, Bill McRae Ford first down. Pushes the ball out to the Jacksonville 24.
2 by 2 go the Indian receivers. McCowan over the middle, caught. Jacksonville coaches want a face mask.
Just kind of a grazing hand across the face. Not really a grab. Just a little quick inside look to Devin. I've seen Devin McEwen catch those kinds and break them, but they wrapped him up. He does pick up 8 yards, 2nd and 2.
20 seconds and counting, so this will likely be the last play of the first quarter. Ryan McCowan pulls this one, and he'll keep. He's out over the 40-yard line. The flag comes in late.
Uh-oh. Well, he got the first down clearly on that zone read. Stops the clock with 9 seconds. So let's see the call here on the far sideline from where I am close to you guys. I don't know what you guys saw. Was it something late by Jacksonville? Coming in on a late block or something? No, Jacksonville seems to be
it's a
clapping their hands.
Fairly long conference here. Let's see.
Holding on
offensive hold is the call against Jacksonville.
Okay.
So
I was way off.
Missed it by that
Just
much.
That much. So Jacksonville may just let the clock run out right here and turn it around and start that second quarter looking at, well, have they stepped it off yet? Yeah, they stepped it off from the spot. That must have been way upfield, Aaron.
Scoreboard clock has run out, and so that will do it for the first quarter of play. After one, our score, Sulphur Springs 6, Jacksonville nothing. We'll take a short break as they switch ends. This is Fighting Indian Football on JHS-sports.com.
Community is not just a place. It's not just people who live nearby or the name on a city limit sign. No, community is pride. It's support. It's showing up when you're needed without being asked. Community is knowing that you're not alone. It's sharing burdens and successes. Community is beautiful, and community is strong. We've been a community bank for over 100 years, and we've never been more proud to be a part of this community. Austin Bank.
Welcome back to Gerald Prim Stadium in Sulphur Springs as we get set to begin the second quarter of play in the 2022 season opener between Jacksonville and the Sulphur Springs Wildcats. Jacksonville with the ball.
Speaking of Wildcats, look who's at quarterback. Devin McEwen.
Yeah, we said Jacksonville would want to get him the ball however they could.
Stoppage of play here by the officials. This is a Tyler officiating crew, and the chains were just a little bit off. Now they're pulling them straight out. So where was the holding penalty marked off? I don't get this. You remember the holding penalty?
Yeah, not real sure about that, Matt. I'm scratching my head on that one as well.
Unless Ryan McCown got another 10 yards and it came back that far, that's had to be what happened. So nevertheless, Jaden Boyd is checked in at running back for Jacksonville. And Devin McEwen.
They still don't have the stick set right.
Yeah.
It's 2nd and 3.
Hey, it's their first game too. There we go. Stretch it out.
Still not right.
No, it isn't right. We got chain problems.
They got 2nd down in inches at this point.
Yeah.
So.
No, it's not. I mean, when the quarter ended on the penalty, I looked at the chains. It was 2nd and 3.
Yes.
So that tells me that
the 31 is correct, but
that tells me that the holding penalty occurred up the field.
Yeah, he ran to the 41, and they brought it 10 yards back from there. So I guess the penalty was right there at the spot. That's where they threw the flag. So.
Yeah. Wow, this is there's a lot of geometry going on down here, guys. I didn't know there was math tonight. I'm a little confused. Okay, now they got it. Second and 3.
We got it.
Man, Jacksonville's going to need to stretch out after that pause, huh? They stopping it again.
Yeah, there's the whistle. And, yeah, any element of surprise that Jacksonville thought they might have had with the Wildcat formation, that's gone.
That's pretty much gone. Yeah. Man. Okay. Finally, they got the chains right. I believe the referee in the white hat. We've had this crew many times, guys. In fact, this crew worked a couple of playoff games at Jacksonville's Tomato Bowl last season. So here we go. Second down 3 as we start the second quarter.
McEwen going to hand it off. Check that, a keeper for McEwen, and a Bill McCray Ford first down, a big gain.
That looks pretty good, doesn't it? And there was a little bit of misdirection in the backfield right there.
Yeah, he got me.
I mean, the misdirection was that Jaden Boyd, I think, went the
what
wrong
you'll call
way.
a collision?
Yeah, he went the wrong way. He actually hit McEwen harder than the defensive front did for Sulphur then. But McEwen gets the first down for Jacksonville. Bill McCray Ford first down. McEwen checks back in at wide receiver. Ryan McCown comes back in at quarterback, and Boyd stays in at running back. First down, Jacksonville, throwing 42.
2-by-2 go the Indian receivers. McCown with time now going to roll to his right, looks over the middle of the check down route, complete.
Don't do that, Coda. No, sir.
Another Bill McCray Ford first down.
Another mental mistake by Jacksonville. As Boyd catches it out of the backfield, gets the first down. He's clearly out of bounds. And
the flag comes in.
Well, yep. Coda peels around and hits a guy after Jaden Boyd was clearly out of bounds. You can't have those kind of mental mistakes, man. You're a senior. He was just trying to make a play, but you got to know when you got to pull up. You got to know. You got to have field awareness. So that's going to be a dead ball. That's going to be, let's see where they mark it. It was right at the 10-yard marker where the contact was made. That was that check down I was talking about earlier, guys, with Jaden Boyd when we were driving over. Watch the check down. If something's not downfield, boom, flip it out there to Jaden. Boom, he gets the first down. But it's going to come back for the penalty here. Jason Holman, now head coach, talking to Codas, pointing at his temple. And what do you think he's saying? Hey.
Use your
think.
Use your head.
Think.
Yeah. And again, illegal blindside block the call. And again, Matt, season opener, your adrenaline's high, your emotions are high, but you have to know when to pull back.
Yeah, let's see where they mark it. Finally, it pushes it to the 32. It's still a first down. It just moved it back 10 yards. So Jacksonville's still going to have a first down at their own 32.
McCown takes the snap, drops back, got time. Check down route this time is complete. Out to midfield and more as McEwen makes his way into Wildcat territory. He's got the Bill McCray Ford first down.
And Ryan McCown really settling down now in the second quarter. You can see him getting in a rhythm as he's starting to kind of find that rhythm that you got to have as a quarterback. And he saw McEwen wide open, didn't hesitate, drilled it right to him, and then McEwen did the rest for another Bill McCray Ford first down.
Trips right, one left go the Indian receivers this time as McCown, time again, looks right, throws incomplete off the hands of his intended receiver, Coda Kennedy.
Perfect pass by McCown, and that's just one of those plays designed. If you get tackled right there, you got 6 yards. Okay, it's like a running play. Turn around, pitch, catch, 6 yards. Got to catch it. So second down, 10 now. Football at the Sulphur 37-yard line, if I'm spotting that right. 40-yard line, 40.
2-by-2 again go the Indian receivers. As McCowan going to have some time, goes for the check down as he finds Boyd for a few.
I mean, in years past, if you have that play right there, Ryan McCowan would have to scramble out and just try to find somebody down the field. That's what was happening in the first quarter. You saw him doing that. And now he's seen his check downs right there. That's 2 in a row to Boyd. Boyd doesn't pick up much on the play, but it's still a makeable 3rd and 8 for Jacksonville. Fighting Indians well out of field goal territory, so they are in 4-down territory where they would go for it. Here, maybe do a little coffin corner if they don't get it.
Go, Lex.
McCowan fires in. It's caught, but
no, he didn't
Sulphur
catch
Springs
it.
all over him.
Yeah, he dropped it. He just went.
Oh, he did, didn't he? Yes,
he picked it up off the bounce.
Tried to make a move with.
Yeah.
Before he had it.
That's John Johnson, the intended receiver, and again, these are timing plays, and it's first game, and you've had a couple of scrimmages. Yeah, I know. You've had 3 weeks of camp. Yeah, I know. But still, game conditions. You got those things. You just got to work out with this kind of timing offense. So it's 4th down on the incompletion. 4th and 8. Jacksonville will go for it here.
Two by two go the Indian receivers. Obvious passing down from McCowan. He's got a little time now. Got to roll left. He's under pressure, and he fires, and he's intercepted.
When you don't have anything, you don't have anything, and you can't throw into traffic. And Ryan will learn from that. Can't do that. So Jacksonville will have the first turnover of the ball game with the pick. Sulphur Springs coming away with it. So Jacksonville, nice drive. They picked up some yards, got a little confidence, moving the ball down the field. Stalls out on the pick. Here's Sulphur now. 10 minutes and 4 seconds remaining in the second quarter.
So Brady Driver brings the Wildcats back out. He's got 2 receivers each way, and he'll throw to his left. Got his slot man out over the 30. It's Matt Mitchell with his first catch of the ball game.
Well, they have a lot of receivers, don't they? They spread it around, and they get rid of the ball quickly, does the quarterback Brady Driver. And I mentioned earlier, this is exactly what their JV looked like. Coach Faircloth has put in a pretty impressive system here with the quarterback just flip, throw, 7 yards, 6 yards, 5 yards, and then they break one. 2nd and 3.
Driver looking under pressure, rolling left. Lots of room to run for the quarterback as he picks up first down yardage.
Oh, I know. But it looked like he pushed him in the back. I'm just
Matt, as you can hear, Matt really wanted a call
I'm
there.
just down here. I'm having a good time with my official friend here.
There you go.
So Driver picks up the first down on the nice scramble. He's got some wheels, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
Man, that first quarter we saw him, and right there, he just left Jacksonville defensively when he turned that corner. Pushes the ball out to the Sulphur Springs 40, first down.
Driver hands off straight ahead again this time. A pickup.
Nice job right there.
Of a few.
The good tackle by Carson Shoemaker, the junior, coming up from his linebacker position and just wrapping up Malachi Rowland.
Carson Shoemaker on the stop. 2nd down.
Give him 3 on the play.
I'll make it 2nd and 7 as we go into the 9-minute mark here in a fast-moving second quarter. Driver claps, calls for the ball, rolls right, throws high and incomplete.
Boy, Jacksonville caught a break right there. Is one of the few times Brady Driver has been a little bit inaccurate, threw that a little bit too high right there, or it's a first down to Jackson Hare.
Yeah, Jackson Hare was kind of on an island there. And
yeah. Well, I mean, all they're doing, they're just pushing the defensive backs down the field. And Jacksonville's playing a little soft now. They're playing back. They're playing not to get beat deep. And that frees up those little 6- and 7-yard turnarounds, timing patterns that Sulphur Springs has had success with. 3rd down, 7 now for the Wildcats.
Passing situation, Jacksonville may be able to get some pressure here. They bring it, Driver gets away from 2. Now going to put his foot in the ground, spin away from 1 more. He is brought down just short of the sticks, but Jacksonville should have had contained there and had him dead to rights, Matt.
Well, Jacksonville had a blitz on the play. They brought Coda Kennedy off the edge, and he got back there. And what great footwork there by Brady Driver avoiding Kennedy, who whiffed on the tackle. And he whiffed because Driver made a good move on him. It wasn't just Coda. So 4th and 1 going for it here. Don't watch the ball. Don't jump.
Yeah, they'll try to draw the Indians off here with a long count, you would think. And Driver just going to keep straight up the middle, and he'll have enough for the Wildcat first down.
Yeah, it's hard to stop that play because they get such a good push to Sulphur Springs. 2 guards at their center. They just create a wedge right there, and Driver doesn't hesitate. He plants that foot, gets right behind his real running back, Malachi, and that's like the 3rd first down that he's converted where it was either 4th and short or 3rd and short. Thad Hoffpower, the junior, will check in for Devin McEwen defensively in the backfield. First down, Sulphur Springs at the 49 of Jacksonville.
Little motion to reset the formation for the Wildcats. Driver going to keep looking to throw. Here comes the pressure, and down he goes.
Yeah, he's strong, and, Devarian Boyd had him, and he almost got out. And then Jacksonville comes in and finishes him off.
Yeah, Driver's slow to get up.
Looked like Zadarius Hinton came and wrapped him up.
He took a knock there to Driver, and
he did.
He's not quite right yet.
Yeah, he took a shot, got kind of twisted up. And I believe that was Shoemaker who twisted him up. And then Zadarius Hinton just came and just put his 230 pounds on top of him. So let's see what's going on here with them checking out. And they're going to take a timeout.
Yeah, they're going to take a timeout. We'll step away. This is Fighting Indian Football on JHS-sports.com.
Hi, this is Will Royan, JHS Class of 2022. On behalf of myself and all the students at Jacksonville High School, I'd like to say thank you for watching tonight's game. In addition to the athletes on the field, tonight's game provides an opportunity for our community to celebrate students from a wide variety of programs. The cheerleaders, charmers, twirlers, the Fighting Indian Band, the trainers, the audio-video production film crew, the students working in the concession stands, all showcase the hard work and dedication of the students at JHS. For more information about our school, please visit jsd.org.
Dr. Darwin Dar and his staff at Dar Chiropractic specialize in family chiropractic care, exercise rehab, digital x-rays, nutrition and weight loss programs, decompression, and chiropractic wellness care. Located down the street from the Tomato Bowl, Dar Chiropractic. They can help you feel better.
And we are back live at Gerald Prim Stadium here in Sulphur Springs. Jacksonville trailing Sulphur Springs 6-0, 6.5 minutes to go to the half.
Well, let's check out that quarterback position for Sulphur Springs. It looks like there is a new quarterback in there. Matthew Mitchell, who caught a pass a moment ago, is back in. He's in at quarterback for the injured Brady Driver.
Mitchell will have 2 receivers on his left, one on his right. He's going to hand off, and Jacksonville all over that run play, and there's some extracurriculars.
Oh, come on now. Play's over. I like the officials right there just not calling something. They just kind of let it go.
Probably would have been well within their rights to call something, if we're honest.
Probably. Probably.
Down under 6 minutes to go. 3rd and very long now.
22.
Call it 22.
Yeah. So Mitchell stays in at quarterback for Sulphur Springs.
See what Coach Faircloth has for 3rd and long. How about a handoff straight ahead?
So Jacksonville will get their deal. Oh, look at here.
The ball comes out, or did it?
Nobody blew the whistle?
There has not been a whistle. Jacksonville's got the ball.
And they got a flag on the field where the line judge on this side of the field threw the flag, and I think he's going to call a face mask. Is that going to be an automatic first down? Oh, my goodness.
We'll wait for the official call from the head referee. He's getting the call from the line judge
Well, Munoz
right now,
came in and stripped the ball, but the flag was thrown before the strip. And it's like the line judge saw something in the pileup. I mean, it was like you said, it was 3rd and 22, Aaron, and they just tried to run a little draw play and just kind of get in position to punt the football. And
yeah,
this would be a killer penalty if it's a
line judge is pointing to Jacksonville.
This would be
so we'll see.
Golly.
See the call here, but all indications are that this is going against the Fighting Indians.
Well, you can take the penalty on 3rd and 22, but if it's an automatic first down, that's the killer.
Face mask against the Indians is the call. That's first down.
That's what I thought. I mean, I looked at the line judge. He came out on the field immediately, and he pulled down that face mask motion that you see. And that's a penalty that we'll remember. That turning point where Jacksonville was going to get off the field defensively. Now you get that call right there. In fact, Jacksonville stripped the ball and ran it down to the 10 of Sulphur Springs. Take all that away, and Sulphur Springs has a first down after having it 3rd and 22, first down at the Jacksonville 43-yard line. Wow.
So with 5:29 to go here in the second quarter, Jacksonville going to have to stop a Sulphur Springs drive now as the handoff straight ahead, and they will fight their way near the 40 with the Wildcats.
Some pretty conservative calls right here by Sulphur Springs, I think. I mean, they were so much more wide open when they had Brady Driver in here, and they.
Yeah, you have to think that
yeah,
that has to do with Matt Mitchell coming in.
Yeah, they're just trying not to put too much on Mitchell. Not sure his classification. We didn't get any classifications, heights, weights, or anything from Sulphur Springs, but Mitchell, the backup quarterback, they're just really keeping it plain vanilla for him. 2nd and 7.
So Mitchell will stay in with Rowland, who gets the handoff, and he will move the pile, still moving it down inside the Jacksonville 35 to the 34.
Nice push that time by Jacksonville's defensive line as the offensive line came in. You know, when you see those pileups and the offensive linemen come in and start shoving the pile down the field, well, coming up from the secondary, Trent Powell.
To push the other way, yeah.
Jalen McGowan, they just planted their feet and they went the other way with it.
So 3rd and a yard as the ball sits on the Jacksonville 34-yard line. Will go under 4 minutes to go here in the first half. As Mitchell will just hand off again to Rowland, and he will roll to his left and pick up first down yardage.
A great open field tackle by Trent Powell, the junior, coming up from his safety position to fill that gap. If he doesn't come up like that, Sulphur Springs had it well blocked. And I'm telling you, Malachi Rowland may have scored. I mean, he had that kind of a hole until Trent Powell of Jacksonville came up and filled it up. Nevertheless, it's a first down for Sulphur Springs. And if you're Jacksonville, you're down 6-0. And, man, you sure need to stop right here. You don't want to go down 2 scores at the half.
And so, again, the handoff is to Rowland. This time not much doing.
I tell you, the officials are going to have to blow that whistle a little bit quicker as you're seeing some of those lockups after the play. Either the players can't hear the whistle or you're going to have to blow it louder because there's a lot of extracurricular play after the guy's on the ground with the ball.
Well, and you in some sense, you can't fault the players because you play to the whistle. If you can't hear it,
yeah, the whistles are really light down here.
Yep.
I mean, I'm on the sideline and they're not very loud.
Handoff straight ahead to Rowland. He's got a huge hole and he will score.
Same play a moment ago, and Trent Powell just could not get there. 31-yard touchdown run by Malachi Rowland, his 2nd touchdown of the evening. And that little scat back can scoot once he gets in the open field. And 12-0 Sulphur with the extra point to come. That's a killer, man. I mean, it's 6-0, and you strip the ball, and you're down at their 10. Now you're down 12-0.
Extra
maybe
points.
13.
Brought to you all season by our friends at Neighbors Coffee in downtown Jacksonville. The kick on the way is no good.
That's 2 in a row by Caden Franklin. He's blocked 2 extra points coming right up the middle. 12-0 Sulphur.
So with 2:38 to go to the half, Sulphur Springs 12, Jacksonville nothing. We'll be back in a moment. This is Fighting Indian Football on JHS-sports.com.
As ETMC joins the UT Health family, we're bringing a new vision of healthcare to East Texas, where the brightest minds in academics and medicine work together to treat the most complex health challenges and improve lives, where access to world-class medicine and cutting-edge technology will bring health, hope, and a brighter tomorrow. We are UT Health East Texas, advancing healthcare together.
When life throws you a curveball, give it to the guy who can knock it out of the park.
A high drive to right, sending Ludwig back. It's gone! Micah Hoffpower.
Call Micah Hoffpower at Texas Farm Bureau for all of your life, auto, and home insurance needs.
And we're back live at Gerald Prim Stadium in Sulphur Springs. Our Indian fans will have had their first chance to see Micah Hoffpower's ad for Texas Farm Bureau, and boy, what a sweet swing.
Wasn't it, though? Hey, Jacksonville has 3 timeouts with 2:38, and with those kind of offensive weapons they have, you don't count them out from trying to take some shots right here. Fans, stay with us. We'll have our first All Smiles halftime interview with head coach Jason Holman, get his comments. Jacksonville High School Band will also be performing along with the Cherokee Charmers. Here's the kickoff.
Kickoff is short. Bounces down, though, inside the 15, and the Sulphur Springs coverage team all over it.
Man. You know, John Johnson. He settled under it, and he just relaxed, and he just didn't look the ball in. You got to get your feet set. You don't just reach out there and catch a kickoff like that. So the ball's at the 10-yard line, and special teams is something Jason Holman, you heard him talking about that in smoke signals before the game about special teams, and he thinks this game could be decided on. There's one right there, but may not decide the game, but it's just one of those miscues you can't have. First game. Let me throw that out there. Kennedy in the backfield with McCowan for Jacksonville.
So Jacksonville back to work, down 2 scores. With a lot of green in front of them here as McCowan climbs up in the pocket, throws left. It's tipped and incomplete.
Looking for McEwen as Jacksonville offensive line is struggling a little bit right now, and McCowan's having to step up into the pocket. Then he has to move to his left or his right laterally. And, you know, you just can't get a lot on a football when you're going to the left or the right laterally. You got to get your body, you got to get your shoulders and your hips turned, and that one was deflected, 2nd and 10. You know, what you don't want to do right here is go 3 and out and give Sulphur Springs another shot with the ball.
So now McCowan hands off. Right side, short gain around the end there.
Wow. There's another one of those after extracurricular takedowns. Jermaine Taylor just took the defensive back. I mean, Jwaylon Kennedy was clearly down, and so Jermaine just took him out of bounds. The line judge looked over and said, well, looky there. He didn't even bat an eye. Okay.
First game for everybody. 3rd down and 5.
They're just letting them play. That's the way you describe that. They're just going to let them play.
Yeah, ball sitting at the Jacksonville 15 as we go under 2 minutes to go here in the first half. McCowan looks left, throws left, got McEwen. McEwen's got Wildcats all over him.
Nothing. So now you got to punt the football standing near your goal line. Clock continues to run here now. Sulphur will take their last time out, I believe, right here. Yep, that's their last timeout, guys.
And they do. We'll take it with them. A short break. This is Fighting Indian Football on JHS-sports.com.
150 years. A lot happens to a town in that amount of time. And that's reason to celebrate. Join us Saturday, October 22nd, and invite your friends, family, and neighbors to come home, come downtown, and come together to celebrate Jacksonville's 150th birthday.
For the past 40 years, Swink Studio of Dance in Jacksonville has provided instruction in classical ballet, tap, jazz, hip-hop, and contemporary dance styles for students age 4 through high school. Select classes for adults and award-winning competition teams are also available. For more information or to enroll a student, contact the studio today and let's dance.
And we're back live at Gerald Prim Stadium here in Sulphur Springs. 4th down for Jacksonville. Punting from the shadow of the goalpost, and this is a good one.
Wow, good punt.
To midfield, a big Jacksonville bounce. This one going to roll down all the way inside the 30 of Sulphur Springs.
What a punt.
How about that for a punt?
It's at the 40?
They're gonna mark it.
That's a 50-yarder.
No, it's at the
They're gonna mark it at the 28 yard line.
28.
Yeah.
58 on that one.
58. Wow. Davey. Nice punt.
We needed that.
Big time. Turn the field over here. No timeouts. Don't get beat deep. Devin's back there along with the junior Trent Powell.
$1:27 to go first half.
It's still Mitchell at quarterback for Sulphur, the backup.
Expect more running, and that's what they get. A handoff.
Fumble.
The rolling ball is out.
Oh, and a flag. Got a fumble and a flag. Should be a flag. Do you see? He didn't throw the flag. He just threw his beanbag. Man, I thought that was a face mask on Trent Powell, who comes up with a fumble recovery.
And so just like that, after flipping the field on the punt, well, that's.
Wait a minute, what?
There may be some discussion about whether Roland was down.
Oh, good. I can't say I can't. We don't have a replay here, but they don't have the jumbotron here at the stadium. But it looks like officials are going to call it down, and said he was down.
Yeah,
Can't argue because I didn't see.
You can hear the reaction through Matt's field, Mike. Jacksonville's fans not happy.
Wow. Yeah, you got to be careful. That little scooter was coming through there when he got hit. And when I'm talking about scooter, I'm talking about Malachi Rowland, all 5'6", 650 pounds. And that is an estimate, by the way. I may be, give or take, 10 pounds. The clock's running right now.
Yeah, it's going to run down inside a minute here.
Sulphur's just taking their time. I think they're going to be content to go in at the half down or up 12-0. Now Jacksonville takes a timeout. Interesting.
We'll take the short break with them. This is Fighting Indian Football on JHS-sports.com.
Since 2004, Legends Old Time Burger Cafe has been the home of Jacksonville's best old-fashioned hamburgers. Hand-battered chicken strips, chicken fried steak, fries, and onion rings are the best around. Legends, home of Jacksonville's best old-fashioned hamburger.
Congratulations is Jacksonville's source for a full line of awards and engraving services. But we don't stop there. You'll want to check out our examples of creative personalized gifts too. Congratulations also serves East Texas as a promotional products dealer. We are passionate about sourcing just the right items. With our laser capabilities, we can also design and install acrylic signage or graphics. Want to see samples of our work? Go no further than the Tomato Bowl entry. We're especially proud of the arrowheads. Visit Congratulations Showroom or website soon, and let's make something.
That 100% beef Whataburger takes 2 hands and all of your attention. So yeah, now's the time to sneak that fry. Good thing there's plenty to savor. Good thing there's Whataburger.
And we're back live. 55 seconds to go here in the first half of play. Sulphur Springs leading Jacksonville 12-0. As Mitchell will just hand off again to Roland. And he'll be stuffed up in the middle. And, Matt, we were talking in the break. I think Jacksonville can expect a steady dose of the run game as long as Mitchell's the signal caller.
Yeah, this is just mono on mono. Sulphur Springs, they're just lining it up and saying, we're going to hand the ball off right here. We're going to come off tackle, and you got to stop us. So 27 and counting here as both teams will just don't relax right here. Don't relax on Malachi. He can go. He has 2 touchdowns, the only 2 touchdowns in the ball game tonight, both for Sulphur Springs. Fill the gap.
4 on the play clock, so they will have to snap it one more time and hand it off to Malachi, and he will be brought down just short of midfield. The ball comes out, but he is down.
Close to the 50-yard line.
Is Malachi rolling? That'll be good for a first down, so the clock will restart when the chains are set. That should do it for the first half.
And that should do it. Stay with us when they start that clock. We'll get head coach Jason Holman on the All Smiles halftime coaches interview.
And that is halftime. The halftime score here at Gerald Prim Stadium. Sulphur Springs Wildcats 12. Your Jacksonville Fighting Indians nothing. Send it down to Matt for Coach Holman's comments.
Well, he's getting his gear off right here to step in, and this will. I warned him about this. He called it a warning. I'm warning you. I'm going to come talk to you. So here he comes. Coach, the first quarter was a little rough. You really couldn't get any kind of offensive rhythm. In the second quarter, you look back, you had a nice drive and got it down the field, and boy, your defense is playing good. Their quarterback he's not coming back. How will that change your defensive philosophy maybe with that kid not playing? Let's step down here a little bit.
Clearly with their starter quarterback not playing, that makes them a little bit one-dimensional. I don't know if 10 can throw it or not, but we haven't seen much of him. The main thing is we've got to calm down. We've hurt ourselves in several situations. Yeah. We've had some key holding calls and some things that have stalled out on drives. We're not being very patient in the pocket and looking downfield like we need to and getting the ball off. And we've shown we can run it a little bit. We just got to compliment each other more.
Typical first game, you had those kind of mistakes, but like I said, the rhythm started to kind of come and trying to get the ball to your playmakers, that kind of started to come. And I know that, again, the first game stuff, you got to get that out, and maybe the second half you can get that going.
Yeah, no question. And, we knew there were going to be mistakes coming in. We told our guys the biggest thing was if you go full tilt and you make up with effort, then, you can correct a lot of mistakes. But the main thing we didn't want to do was make 2 mistakes.
Yeah. Coach, I'm going to let you go. I know you got a lot of coaching to do. Thank you.
Thank you.
Head coach Jason Holman on the All Smiles halftime report. We'll have to get this coordinated where I can walk with him toward the dressing room so that he can get to his team because like we talked about earlier, he's also a position coach. He's got a lot to talk about. On the field right now, the Cherokee Charmers under the direction of Laura Guidry, assisted by Tiffany Alexander. And, guys, I'm going to toss it back up to you for a moment for a break, and then we'll come back and hear the rest of the halftime performance. Jacksonville.
All right, we will take a –
Hey, hang on just a second. Let's keep it here.
Yeah.
I didn't know where you guys were on there. This is live broadcasting. Let's keep it here. Let's keep the cameras on rolling. We're going to watch the Cherokee Charmers perform with the Jacksonville High School Band.
Sounds good, Matt. We'll keep it with you.
Garcia. Senior Lieutenant Grace Crawford. And in the center, your captain, Brooklyn Hunter. Charmer Sergeants for the 2022-23 school year. Head Sergeant Mia Sanchez. Sergeant Krishley Bonzukin. Sergeant Mariah Guillen. Sergeant Andrea Hernandez, and Sergeant Mariah Porter. This week's Charmer of the Week is Ashton Washburn. Watch now as the Charmers perform an exciting halftime streamer jazz routine to We Don't Talk About Bruno. The Charmers are under the direction of Laura Guidry and Tiffany Alexander. Ladies and gentlemen, the award-winning Cherokee Charmers.
Cherokee Charmers with another outstanding performance here at Prim Stadium in Sulphur Springs. We're at halftime where Sulphur Springs leads Jacksonville by a score of 12-0 at the half on the opening night. And now let's listen to the PA announcer introduce the Jacksonville Majorettes.
Officers for the 2022-23 school year are Junior Lieutenant Natalie Joseph, Senior Lieutenant Janiyah Swindell, First Lieutenant Ellie Berry, and Captain Lauren Gluck. Twirler of the week is Juliana Salazar. Watch now as the twirlers perform to the Latin hit, Fireball.
Jacksonville High School Majorettes performing at halftime here at Prim Stadium under the direction of Brianne G. You're listening to the Whataburger halftime report. Sulphur Springs leading Jacksonville at the half by a score of 12-0. As the Jacksonville High School band now getting set to perform with their first performance of the season under the direction of Donnie Barrier.
Jacksonville Independent School District is proud to present the 2022-23 Jacksonville Fightin' Indian Band. The band will perform to Bacchus Fanfare and the Attorney General. The band is under the field direction of Junior Drum Major Brennan Hack, Senior Drum Majors Jaden Scruggs and Camden Fontenot, and Head Drum Major Sarah McCullough. Now in the center of the field, one of the most decorated military marching bands in the great state of Texas. That classic look, that awesome sound, that cry heard across the land. The Jacksonville Fightin' Indian Band. The Fightin' Indian Band is under the direction of Donnie Barrier, Preston Parker, Preston Long, Catherine Barrier, Kim Beard, and Brianne G. Freshman of the week is Harrison Penn. Band members of the week are Juan Pablo Hernandez and Natalie Tavera. Ladies and gentlemen, the Jacksonville Fightin' Indian Band.
Another outstanding performance by all of the fine arts at Jacksonville High School, Charmers, Twirlers, and the Jacksonville High School Band. Guys, you up there?
We're here, Matt.
All right, I'm going to toss it to you guys for Stats at the Half, sponsored by Randy Gorham CPA.
All right, we are back inside the press box high above Prim Stadium here in Sulphur Springs. You've just been enjoying the Jacksonville Fightin' Indian Bands, award-winning Cherokee Charmers, the Jacksonville Twirlers. As the Fightin' Indians trail the Sulphur Springs Wildcats 12-0 here in the season opener at the half. We're going to bring in our statistician extraordinaire, Todd Travis, for the halftime stats rundown, as Matt said, brought to you by Randy Gorham CPA. Todd, 12-0 the score. Jacksonville with not a lot on the certainly on the board, but not in the stat columns numerically yet either. And unfortunately, one big play and it was a punt.
That's true. That was kind of our highlight for the first half. If we take a look at two scoring plays for Sulphur Springs for the first half, first quarter, their running back Roland hit a 21-yard run for a touchdown, and we blocked the extra point. And in the second quarter, he had another touchdown run for 31 yards, and we blocked that kick as well.
Yeah, Caden Franklin.
12-0.
Yeah, in on both of those for Jacksonville. So some early stats for him, but unfortunately few and far between to choose from so far for the Fightin' Indians.
Mm-hmm. So looking at team stats for the first half, offensively we had 18 plays for a total of 69 yards. We had 40 yards passing, 29 yards rushing. We had 4 penalties for a total of 40 yards and 1 turnover interception.
Yeah.
So individual stats, quarterback Ryan McCowan, 5 completions on 13 attempts for 40 yards passing and 1 interception. Receiving, McEwen had 3 catches for 30 yards. Jermaine Taylor had 1 for 8. And Jaden Boyd had 1 for 2 yards. Rushing, Kennedy had 3 carries for 17 yards. McEwen had 1 for 11. And Boyd had 1 carry for 1 yard.
Yeah, and Todd, a lot of that looked to be that Ryan McCowan was not as comfortable as you might have thought a senior would have been. Now, again, we're talking about game 1 for everybody, but we saw Ryan struggle to find a rhythm with his receivers under, of course, quite a bit of pressure. He had to do a lot of move in the pocket, but you'd hope that we can get them to, or get him in a rhythm in the second half. We talked about with Matt there in the first half how in the second quarter especially you began to see the Jacksonville defense start to settle into a rhythm, especially against the run game of Sulphur Springs. But the Jacksonville offense hadn't quite found that groove just yet, have they?
No, they haven't. We're struggling to move the ball and put plays together and get some first downs. So, it also seems like the ball's, I hate to say not bouncing our way, but thought you had a fumble recovery that, would have been a huge momentum shift.
Oh, yeah,
that
would have been
12,
that would have been a
we
massive
had a penalty
swing
there
in the game.
Mm-hmm. And then we thought we had another fumble recovery, but they said he was down. So, a few plays it's just like not quite going our way. So,
yeah, a lot of times too, games come down, especially games between teams that are pretty well matched, which Jacksonville and Sulphur Springs seem to be. Mm-hmm. A lot of times they can come down to those funny bounces of the ball, or those few extra yards on a given play, or pulling off at the end of a play and not committing that penalty. Those type of things,
right.
and you're seeing some of that go against Jacksonville early. And again, we sound like broken records, I guess.
We just need something positive, to put momentum on our side, give our team a little lift. They just need,
absolutely
need something good because 12-0, the game's not out of reach by any means.
Yep, the game's there.
We need a few positive plays and get a score, and we're right back in it. But we just need something to happen. And
now, we talked a little bit about this, and I hesitate to call it a positive because obviously there was an injury involved. But from a defensive standpoint for Jacksonville, since Matt Mitchell has had to come in for Brady Driver at quarterback for Sulphur Springs, it looks like Sulphur Springs is content to go with a run-heavy attack. Just line it up and give the ball to Malachi Rowland or whoever else they're going to roll out there. And if that's the case for Jacksonville, you would think you'd see the Jacksonville defense begin to sort of crack the code in the second half. Now, as we heard Matt and Coach Holman say, Driver's not coming back. Now, does Matt Mitchell open it up in the second half and we see a different type of approach from him in Sulphur Springs?
Well, I think
that's
it depends
possible.
If he needs to.
Yeah,
though, because,
exactly.
I mean, right now, if we stop Roland for a 1 or 2 yard gain, and then we stop him again, but the next play he gets a first down, they're going to keep feeding him the ball. They don't have any reason to throw the ball at this point.
Yeah. So if
we had the one where Powell made a great play, but then the next play he runs it in for a touchdown. So,
right. I mean, they're going to keep feeding Roland, especially. And I can't make any comment about Mitchell's ability to throw the balls. We haven't seen
it yet.
But
no. And before
there's obviously something either they don't feel comfortable with Mitchell throwing the ball, or Roland's just been so successful that they're gonna run him at Jacksonville or run somebody
until we stop
at Jacksonville
him,
until Jacksonville makes a stop.
Well, before Driver went out, he was 6 completions on 7 attempts. So he was throwing high percentage balls, but the guys were catching it and they were moving it.
Yeah.
And so you would expect that was kind of a game changer because Driver was also carrying the ball as much as Roland was. He had 10 carries where Roland had 16. So it was kind of what was it, a option?
He'd pull the ball down on that read option and take off. And you're right, he was able to work that to great success. And so it'll be interesting to see in the second half how Sulphur Springs comes out and how they attack Jacksonville, and then what Jacksonville does. Can Jacksonville key off on the run game and make Mitchell have to put the ball in the air where maybe he's a little more uncomfortable? It's just kind of speculation on my part, Todd, but it doesn't seem like that he's or that the coaching staff maybe is real comfortable having him put the ball in the air. Now, I don't know because we haven't seen it yet, but that remains to be seen. So that's the that's kind of the unknown, I guess, of week 1 of high school football when you don't have a lot of film on your opponent. And, of course, a new coach in Coach Faircloth is probably trying to figure out the pieces he's got, just like Coach Jason Holman is with the Fighting Indians side. And so both of these teams will probably look a little different in a few weeks, but right now we are where we are, and that has led us to a 12-0 Sulphur Springs lead at the half as the Sulphur Springs band is now out on the field. The first half stats, Todd, thanks again. Those brought to you by Randy Gorham, CPA. Randy is your hometown CPA, and he has been since all the way back in 1984. We thank Randy for his support again for another season of Fighting Indian football.
Y'all want to check out some scores?
Yeah, now that you're back with us, Matt, we'll send it back down and let's go around the area.
Well, it's a pretty good night for District 9 4A, I got to tell you that. We'll go through some of these scores. One of Jacksonville's opponents in Week 3, the Crandall Pirates, are leading Forney 37-20 at the half. What a defensive struggle that is. Hallsville leading Terrell 30-14. These are all halftime scores, by the way. Marshall leading Tyler High School 27-16. And get this score, Gilmer over Tyler Chapel Hill 35-14 at the half. Not a surprise there, but as good as Chapel Hill is supposed to be this year, ranked number 2 in Class 4A Division 1. Well, guess where Gilmer's ranked in Class 4A Division 2? They're number 2, behind guess who? Carthage. Let's move on.
I was going to say some team in Panola County.
Yeah. And down in Nacogdoches, the Palestine Wildcats leading NAC at the half 24-7.
Wow.
How about that, huh? White House leading North Forney at the half 30-21.
Of course, White House coming into Tomato Bowl next week,
yeah,
Matt.
they are. They'll be there. This app is a little bit sticky, guys. I'm not pleased with this app, but I'm working on it. Oh, come on. Scroll down there, buddy. Well, it's not even letting me scroll down. I guess it's here we go. Now we're going.
Technology's great except when it isn't.
Yes, exactly. Texarkana Liberty Ilo, not Texas High, Liberty Ilo, leading Henderson 13-6. Longview Pine Tree is hosting Van. Van leading that game 14-7. And come on, scroll down, dude. Wow.
Ladies and gentlemen, your Sulphur Springs
Mount Pleasant leading Pittsburgh 22-8. And Tyler, Legacy, and Lufkin tied up at the half 17 all. There's some halftime scores around the area, especially of interest if you're a Jacksonville fan. Several opponents mentioned in there, most notably White House, who's leading North Forney at the half. And by the way, you know who the coach at North Forney is?
Who's that?
Marcus Golden, the former coach at White House.
Well, there you go.
He's playing his old team, yeah. Getting beat by him at the half. We'll see those Wildcats next Friday night at Tomato Bowl. 12-0 here. Sulphur Springs leading at the half, and the Wildcats will get the football as they defer. They'll start the second half on offense, and I heard you guys talking about the backup quarterback Mitchell as their starter is out. And boy, if you're Jacksonville, you got to be licking your chops on defense. And like you said, Aaron, we don't know if Mitchell can throw the football. We're not sure yet, but we do know they can run the football. They've been running that little guy pretty good tonight. He's got both of their touchdowns.
Yeah, that's Malachi Rowland, and he's as you said, Matt, we're kind of guessing heights and weights as we didn't get that information from Sulphur Springs, but he's the definition of a scat back.
And he doesn't need much of a crease either. I mean, there was a couple of times where, I mean, he just Houdini'd his way through there. And, I mean, Trent Powell came up and filled the gap one time. Same play. Next time, boom, he pops it for the touchdown. So, again, the rhythm that Jacksonville lacked in the first quarter offensively, we saw some of that come alive in that second quarter. They just got to capitalize on it. And, it's again, another one of those weird first games that always happens where you think this is going to happen, but then this happens. So Sulphur Springs now coming out. Jacksonville's been out for a little while in the end zone warming up. They're about ready to come out through their run-through.
Yeah, Matt, as we get set here for the second half, I know we talked in pregame about some shout-outs. We've got Indian fans all over the place.
Oh, we do. How about my former pastor at Central Baptist Church, Darren Wood, checking in with us out there at Midland, where he's the pastor now at First Baptist Midland. Thank you, Darren, for tuning in. Several other people tuning in to several ways you can watch the broadcast: YouTube, Twitch, our own JHS-sports.com channel. So we appreciate all of our listeners and viewers. It's not so much listeners anymore now, is it?
Yeah.
It's viewers.
Well, and I think it was just a couple of years ago that we finally stopped ourselves from saying, that Jacksonville was going from right to left as you face your radio dial.
Yeah,
I mean, that's still sort of the default.
I still catch myself saying that. I didn't say it tonight, but I think I might have alluded to it, and then I stopped myself. So Jacksonville now will send out their kickoff unit. It'll be Jose Cabrera, who handled the kickoff duties last year for Jacksonville. No, it's Jordan Cabrera, the junior. He'll get set to tee it off, and what's a tough break for Brady Driver. First game, really having a stellar game at quarterback, and boy, to be injured like that. I'm looking on the sidelines, and number 4, I don't see him, and I know he had his pads off. I saw him earlier, and guys were coming up and hugging him and stuff, so that's pretty sure thing he's not coming back in. Really important right here for Jacksonville to establish this second half and get a stop right here, force a 3-and-out. That's how Jacksonville started the game, on 2 3-and-outs, and of course they're down 12-0. So Cabrera has it teed up for Jacksonville. Bo Loggins is deep for Sulphur Springs as we're set to go here at Prim Stadium. Jacksonville and Sulphur Springs. Wildcats up 12-0. They're about to get the ball, and with your play-by-play, here's Aaron Swing.
Second half about to get underway as Cabrera runs up the kick. High end over end, fielded at about the 12-yard line cleanly, and a big hole, room to run out over the 35 to about the 37. So,
and Joellen Kennedy for Jacksonville, man, he came out of nowhere, and Ty Bybee. That's hard to say. Ty Bybee. Anyway, made a nice run on that kickoff return to push it out to the 36-yard line of Sulphur Springs. And again, it is Mitchell, the backup quarterback for Sulphur, with a start here in the second half.
He'll have 2 receivers on his right, 1 on his left, the H-back on the left side, and Malachi Rowland in the back. He gets the handoff to Rowland, and he goes down in the backfield.
I had somebody in the stands come up to me at the half and say, can you hear the officials' whistles? I said, no, I cannot.
Yeah.
They're very light, and that's why we've been seeing some extracurricular stuff after the play. The players can't hear the whistle. I mean, you can't stop. And again, another light whistle on that first play right there. So Loss of 2 on the play as Malachi gets wrapped up for Sulphur in the backfield. Caden Franklin and Jaden Boyd wrapping him up.
2 receivers each way, and it looks like Mitchell will look to throw, and he goes down.
That's Driver.
Check that. That is Driver back in, and he's down, though. Driven to the turf.
We were wrong. Man, he had his pads off. He had a big wrap on his shoulder or his back, and he took a couple of salt tablets, and he's back.
Matt, I think your mic may have cut out on us there.
There we go.
There he is.
There you go. So 3rd down 15 as Jacksonville gets the sack on the starter Driver, who surprisingly, he's back in the game.
So 2 receivers each way. Driver going to set, throw right, one-on-one coverage over there, incomplete.
Great coverage by Jacksonville right there. Driver trying to go over the top to Skylar Lewis. And Jacksonville's Jalen McGowan, the senior, with tight coverage, forces the incompletion, and now Jacksonville gets the 3 and out, just like we talked about. And Devin McCune will drop back to receive the Sulphur Springs punt.
So the Jacksonville defense making a statement on that first drive.
You like to see that, man. You don't get better than 3 and out when a team defers and you get a 3 and out. It's great. Oh, that's a terrible punt.
High snap and a worse punt.
Oh, that's awful. That is absolutely awful in
so,
Jacksonville's favor.
Yeah, Jacksonville will start their first possession of the second half with great field position, Matt. And, boy, this is the time to use some of that momentum.
Take advantage of this. You got a 3 and out. You got a little momentum. You got a bad punt. You got great field position. Take advantage of it. So Jacksonville will bring out, of course, Ryan McCown at quarterback, and Joellen Kennedy gets the start in the second half at running back. Of course, the Indians transition these running backs by committee. So the Fighting Indians will get the football and really good, their best opening field position of any drive, the 44 of Sulphur.
Trips left, 1 right, go the Indian receivers. McCowan going to pull it, hold it himself, run around the right end in a big gain.
Little zone read right there by Ryan. Nice job reading it. Put it right in the breadbasket of Joellen Kennedy and pulled it and went around the edge. Got some nice blocking out there from his receiver, Jermaine Taylor. Picks up a nice 8 yards on the play. About 7, 2nd and 3.
Trips left, 1 right again for the Indians. This time, McCowan hands off to Kennedy. Kennedy, room to run. And he picks up the Bill McCray Ford first down.
Big time block there by Dre Dials. Offensive guard coming out, just clearing the way for Kennedy to get the first down. What a block by Dials.
Jacksonville looking to go quick now. Trips left, 1 right, handoff Kennedy, right side stretch play. First down and more. As that's back-to-back Bill McCray Ford first downs.
What a run by Kennedy. He'll come out after 2 big carries right there. And now we have an injured Wildcat. He's just limping off. They haven't stopped play yet. Boy, they need to. And Jacksonville needs to find him because he's got to come off. If he stays in, go after him. He's staying in, number 12.
Yeah, so Jacksonville driving, knocking on the door for the first time tonight. The handoff stretch play, the left side this time.
Jaden Boyd.
As Boyd makes his way down inside the 10.
Well, they had it 1st and goal, and man, the ball was outside the 10. It looked like you could have got a first down, but they pulled the chains. You know, if the ball's outside the 10 and the nose isn't touching the 10-yard line, you can still get a first down, right?
Yeah.
That's weird.
So 9:06 and counting here, third quarter. Jacksonville knocking on the door. The ball sitting at the Wildcat 10-yard line as McCowan takes the snap. He rolls right, going to keep it himself, trying to get away from his pursuit, but he is dragged down.
Yeah, Cameron Jefferson from his linebacker position came straight down the line of scrimmage and fought off the block and wraps up McCown. McCown gets a couple. So now 3rd down and goal at the 8-yard line, and here comes Coda Kennedy at wide receiver. Guess where this ball may be going?
You got to think Kennedy's the first look here.
Yep. He had a drop earlier in the game. He sure would like to make up for that if he's the intended target here.
2 receivers on the left, 1 on the right. McCowan looking that way, throwing. Has he got him?
He didn't get in. He's at the 1-yard line.
Just short.
Yeah, the ball was thrown at the 1 instead of the pylon, so Ryan threw that ball just a little bit short. You got to get in the end zone because it's 3rd and goal.
Yeah, so 4th and goal now.
Oh, 4th and goal, excuse me. 4th and goal now.
4th and goal now. Ball sitting at the 1.
Yeah, so this is where that comes into play that you could have got a first down if they had the chains. So, excuse me, that was 3rd down. It's 4th and goal at the 1. You got the big fella in there. Wonder who's going to get this one.
So Jaden Boyd back there with McCowan. Boyd gets it. He dives looking for the goal line.
Didn't get in.
And he's short.
Yeah, he actually lost about a yard.
So the Wildcats bend but don't break.
He lost a full yard to the 2.
Wow.
Great penetration by Sulphur Springs D-line right there. No push at all by Jacksonville's offensive line. A frustrated Jacksonville defense right now. A little upset that the offense couldn't punch that in. You got to dig in. You got to get a push if you're that offensive line. Sulphur Springs wins that battle. And it is, again, it's Brady Driver, the injured quarterback in that first half. We thought wasn't coming back in. Here he is, standing in his end zone.
So we'll see if the Jacksonville defense can bring some pressure with the Wildcats in the shadow of the goalpost after making a stop. Driver keep and just try to dive out.
He must not be hurt too bad.
No, he seems to be okay.
I mean, he had his pads off. Y'all saw it. He had it wrapped around his back. Guys were coming up and hugging him and everything. I don't know what they gave him at the half, but he seems to be quite okay. Picks up 4, pushes it to the 5. 3, actually, 2nd and 7.
So we go under the 7:40 mark here in the 3rd. As the Wildcats now on their 2nd possession. They went 3 and out. First possession of this half. And short gain there from scrimmage.
Well, nothing fancy there. Just a couple of quarterback keepers right in the A-gap. And Driver will push again for another couple of yards. 3rd down. 4 to go. So can Jacksonville get 2 consecutive 3rd and outs defensively and get off the field?
Clock down under 7 minutes to go here, 3rd quarter. Jacksonville, as you said, Matt, looking for a stop here, 3rd and 5. And the handoff goes nowhere.
Oh, man, what a smoke job right there by the big fella, DeVarian Boyd. He just swallowed him up like, oh, that was ugly. I mean, Malachi Rowland, I couldn't find him. I mean, you got 240 pounds, 250 pounds sitting on top of 140, 150 pounds. He just swallowed him up. Loss on the play of about 3. So now the quarterback, Brady Driver, will stand in his end zone, kind of holding his back a little bit, that injured back. He'll be standing right in the middle of his end zone. Devin McHugh, check that. Waylon Kennedy.
Yeah,
back.
Kennedy standing at the Sulphur 40. So Jacksonville looking to get great field position here. This punt is straight up. You got to watch that one.
Jacksonville touched the ball.
Oh, they may have. I think they did.
Oh, come on. Know where the ball is.
Sulphur Springs came out of the pile with it, and so they will maintain possession. Wow.
Oh, my goodness.
That is a mistake.
I mean, you got to know where the ball is.
How's he standing there holding the ball?
Well, I think that the ball hit.
It hit him in the back.
A Jacksonville player.
Yeah,
that's a live ball.
Back. I know, but and he's standing there holding it.
It's Jacksonville football.
There it is. There it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just had to have a conversation about it, but when a guy gets up, like you guys said, he's holding the ball. Somebody was a little bit premature officiating that turnover.
Yeah, because I think I saw an official make the signal that Sulphur Springs had gotten the ball.
Yes,
but
they did.
And again, this is those special teams that Jason Holman talked about in smoke signals that may decide the game. And that's the second one. Now, Jacksonville dodged that bullet right there. So can Jacksonville with really good field position again here at the 34th Sulphur, first down.
2 Indian receivers each way this time. As McCowan rolls to his right under pressure, got to do something. And he throws and it's knocked down, almost intercepted. I said he's got to do something, but maybe that something is not throw into traffic.
Don't do that. I mean, just Jason's telling him right now, Jason Holman encouraging him, not getting on him. You got to have that confidence. You can't poke at that. Ryan's just trying to make a play. Saw Devin McEwen, and boy, I tell you what, that could have been a pick six deluxe right there. Incomplete. 2nd and 10.
So now McCowan rolls to his right, throws complete, little bubble screen. Not a lot to do after the catch.
Man, Jermaine.
Wow, Jermaine Taylor just swarmed under.
And it was just really one block. I mean, that looked ugly, the way that play finished with like 4 Sulphur Springs Wildcats on top of Jermaine, but that was really one block from that little screen, inside screen work, and one guy came in and just wrapped him up with a nice tackle, and he got help. So 2nd and 9, they'll actually give Jermaine a yard of forward progress. And you got to take advantage of this field position here at the 33 of Sulphur Springs.
So we go under the 5-minute mark here in the third quarter. Ryan McCowan drops back, sets, looks over the middle, complete, down inside the 20.
Jalen McGowan.
Goes McGowan, his first catch, I believe, of the season. Good for Bill McCray Ford, first down.
Yeah, there's a guy that you hadn't figured in the mix, and he makes a clutch catch for a first down for Jacksonville.
2 by 2 go the Indian receivers. Handoff up the middle, moving the pile down near the 10. They'll call it about the 13, actually, a little shorter than I thought.
You got to give Sulphur Springs credit the way they're tackling Jaden Boyd. He's 240 pounds, and they are hitting him low, not high. You try to hit a guy like that high, he'll just run over you. That's what happened to Kaufman a couple of weeks ago in the scrimmage. They couldn't tackle him because they were hitting him high. Sulphur Springs well coached there as Joellen Kennedy will check in the backfield for Jacksonville on 2nd and 9.
So Jacksonville once again knocking on the door. McCowan goes down.
I mean, it's like nobody touched him.
Sulphur Springs bringing the house.
Wow. I mean, Ryan couldn't even get his arm up before he was going down.
So 3rd and long.
And, you know, that was a defensive end that came in. Oh, excuse me, he's a down lineman, a tackle. How did he get back there so fast?
2 by 2 go the Indian receivers. McCowan under pressure, throws into the end zone, but short and knocked away, incomplete.
And again, McCowan.
Yeah, again, lucky to just fall harmlessly to the turf there.
I mean, all night long he has been having to throw on the run. I mean, isn't this reminiscent of last year? It was just the same way. And he just can't get any kind of rhythm when you're back there he can't even get his foot planted. It's frustrating. So now Jacksonville's going to bring out Jesus Nunez for a long field goal here. 35-yarder, not too long, makeable.
Field goal attempts brought to you by our friends at Neighbors Coffee. This one on the way, but short and no good.
Yeah, I should have used the 9-iron.
And so Sulphur Springs takes over.
So that's a penetration to the 1-yard line of Sulphur, 2-yard line if you want to call it that. And then they stopped him on 4th down. You don't get any points. Then you get down there at the Jackson will have it at the first down at the 15 of Sulphur Springs. No points. So 2 red zone penetrations, they come away with nothing.
So 3:20 to go here in the third quarter as the Wildcats take over for their third possession. Jacksonville with 2 defensive stops thus far, but as you said, Matt, not able to turn them into points. Now Driver on the run, and he will make his way out to the 26 before he's tripped up.
Coda Kennedy with the ankle tackle right there. Nice job. Or Driver's going to pick up probably a first down. He gets tripped up after picking up about 6, so it's 2nd and 4. And you know, you got, if you're Jacksonville, again, they'll missed opportunities from scoring. You just can't keep giving Sulphur Springs and a quarterback like Driver opportunities.
So under 3 minutes to play here in the third quarter. This time Driver hands it off to Roland, and he's wrapped up and thrown down at about the 27.
If you notice, it's a little bit more physical defense this year for Jacksonville. A lot of these guys got in the weight room, added 20, 30 pounds to their lift, and you can really tell on the tackles and how physical Jacksonville's been able to wrap up and just maintain their leverage and make the tackle.
3rd down and 2. See if Jacksonville can come up with a third consecutive stop here. The handoff, though, straight ahead to Roland, and he'll be close.
No spot yet. Let's see here. It's going to be short. Wait a minute. They're bringing him. He did get the first down. Yep, got the spot, got the first down to the 30.
Yeah, the dial-a-down marker had actually changed to 4. Of course, they may have to run it through that way, but now it says 1 and the chains have been moved. Ball sitting at the Sulphur Springs 30-yard line as they'll wheel the back out of the backfield.
Nice play.
And
wow.
Jacksonville stays home.
Man, what a play by Davey Smith. Outstanding. Got off the block, slid off of it, stayed parallel to the running back who was coming north and south, and just made a nice tackle. Can't say enough about the job by Davey. 2nd and 7 now, 3-yard pickup on that hyper screen, if you call it.
So 1 minute and counting left here in the third. 2nd and 7 as Driver looks left, throws, screen set up, complete. First down yardage and more into Jacksonville territory.
Just a quick pop pass, and he just split the safeties. I mean, that's good blocking by the wide receiver for Sulphur Springs right there, number 6, Skylar Lewis. Boy, he came right off that block, and big play, first down for Sulphur Springs as we're under 1:48 and counting here in this third quarter. You know, opportunities missed for Jacksonville. I mean, you think about it, as deep as they got. I mean, this game, Jacksonville should have the lead with the extra points.
Ball now sitting at the Jacksonville 47-yard line. Handoff is
Boyd.
Try to stretch the play to the left side. Boyd not having it.
And that is the 3rd body slam tackle that he has made on Malachi Rowland, and Rowland's feeling it. I mean, he's moving a little slow right now. He got clocked.
So 15 seconds and counting, and
yeah, he's waving.
Sulphur
right.
Springs can let the clock run out on the third here.
Yeah, Rowland looks like I'm checking out here. So that'll be the end of the third.
So after 3, our score still Sulphur Springs 12, Jacksonville nothing. We'll take a short break as they switch ends and come back. This is Fighting Indian Football on JHS-sports.com.
Since 1953, Hubert Glass Oil has been serving East Texans the finest automotive fuels and lubricants. Hubert Glass Oil Company, the clear solution for your business. When life throws you a curveball, give it to the guy who can knock it out of the park.
A high drive to right, sending Ludwig back. It's gone! Micah Hoffpower.
Call Micah Hoffpower at Texas Farm Bureau for all of your life, auto, and home insurance needs.
And we're back live as we get set to begin the fourth quarter in the 2022 season opener here in Sulphur Springs. The home team on top of the Fighting Indians 12-0. At the moment, 2nd down and 10. Ball sitting at the Jacksonville 47-yard line for Brady Driver and the Wildcats. Driver drops back, looks to throw over the middle. Wide open receiver, 1st down.
Well, Jacksonville just doesn't have an answer for that underneath route that Sulphur Springs has down to a T. I mean, they look mid-season form in their timing, don't they?
Yes, they do, as Coach Faircloth has come in here, obviously, and has not wasted any time getting his system in place. 2 receivers left, 1 right. Driver rolls left, looks left, throws. And not much there as
makes the catch for 4. Yeah.
He had to go down to his knee, to make the catch. That's Lewis over there. We saw Lewis make a nice move on a Jacksonville corner in the first half, but he was not able to do it there as he had to go down for it.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if Jacksonville will have to roll those corners up a little tighter and play a little more press coverage and just force Sulphur to go by you. I mean, you know, you're going to get to that point where you got to take those chances. They'll eat you up in this short passing game and burn the clock, keep getting 1st downs.
2 receivers right, 1 left. Driver, though, got a man over the middle, just missed him, and Jacksonville just got a gift.
Well, they did. That's a touchdown. That is a touchdown. Fortunately, it was thrown a little bit behind the running back out of the backfield. That's Malachi Rowland. And he's coming up a little bit, limping there a little bit. He'll check out of the ball game. Devin McEwen will check in for Thad Hoffbauer.
He's had a busy night, Rowland.
Yes. Definitely has. He's had a really good night for Sulphur.
So 3rd down and 7. Ball sitting now at the Jacksonville 32-yard line. Low snap. And
wow. The whistles, man.
Yeah,
Did you see that right there?
Yeah.
I mean, you could hear Coach Holman hollering, ease up.
Ease up, yeah.
There was no whistle. I mean, the players are going to keep going until they hear the whistle. And they got an injured player on the field. It's for Sulphur Springs, I believe.
Yeah, we'll step away as they tend to him. This is Fighting Indian Football on JHS-sports.com.
As ETMC joins the UT Health family, we're bringing a new vision of healthcare to East Texas, where the brightest minds in academics and medicine work together to treat the most complex health challenges and improve lives, where access to world-class medicine and cutting-edge technology will bring health, hope, and a brighter tomorrow. We are UT Health East Texas, advancing healthcare together.
Dr. Darwin Dar and his staff at Dar Chiropractic specialize in family chiropractic care, exercise rehab, digital x-rays, nutrition and weight loss programs, decompression, and chiropractic wellness care. Located down the street from the Tomato Bowl, Dar Chiropractic. They can help you feel better.
Dr. Folden, Dr. Westbrook, Dr. Stocks, and their dental team at All Smiles provide a wide range of dental services. This includes cleanings, fillings, crowns, bridges, implants, and cosmetic dental care. Call and schedule your appointment at 903-586-0741.
Hi, I'm Matt Montgomery. For the past 37 years, I've been helping people just like you get their financial ducks in a row. I'm a registered investment advisor and chartered financial consultant. We do portfolio management and comprehensive financial planning. Give me a call for a free consultation.
150 years. A lot happens to a town in that amount of time. And that's reason to celebrate. Join us Saturday, October 22nd, and invite your friends, family, and neighbors to come home, come downtown, and come together to celebrate Jacksonville's 150th birthday.
And we're back live here at Prim Stadium in Sulphur Springs, where the Wildcats face a 4th and 8. The ball sitting at the Jacksonville 32-yard line.
Timeout, Sulphur
And
Springs.
a timeout is taken. And so, time for a new spin on the broadcast this year, Matt. In the past, we've had trivia questions. We've had you asking. We've had fans answering. You've had the booth answering. Well, this year, It's Stump Matt. That's the goal. That is the name of the game.
I welcome the challenge.
All right, and so here is your first question. We all know about the Jacksonville Tomato Fest and the recently added chopped competition that goes along with Tomato Fest. Sulphur Springs also hosts a culinary festival that has a competitive edge to it. They host it in October. Do you know what it is, Matt? There is a festival in Sulphur Springs that is a culinary competition. Do you know what it is?
I'm thinking about what it is.
Okay, all right.
It's coming to me.
All right. Fourth down and 8.
I got it.
Back to
After
play.
this play,
After
I got
this
it.
play.
It came to me suddenly.
I think he's had a little help.
No.
2 each way go the receivers. Driver looking for one. Jacksonville bats it down, incomplete. The Tribe takes over.
That's Coda Kennedy slapping it down.
Coda Kennedy.
You know, he had a couple of those in the scrimmage where he just swats it down like he's blocking it, taking it off the backboard in basketball.
Shows up and makes the big play. So another big Jacksonville stop. Matt, you say you've got it. The trivia question, the trivia answer. What do you got?
You said it's a festival?
It is a festival.
I'm thinking beef. I'm thinking stew.
There you go.
Stew festival.
The fourth weekend, the fourth Saturday in October, is the Hopkins County Stew World Championship. Hopkins County Stew, been a staple in Sulphur Springs in this area since the 1800s. Talk a little bit more about it after this play. As McCowan looks to his right, throws incomplete. So in the late 1800s, there were about 100 schools in Hopkins County. Schools were small affairs in homes and so forth at that time. At the end of the school term, families would get together and they would make Hopkins County stew, which used to consist of squirrel, tomatoes, corn, potatoes, and onions. Now, in the competition, all those ingredients are the same except it's chicken or beef in the place of squirrel. And personally, I really hope they bring the squirrel back this year.
Here's McCowan.
McCowan climbs up in the pocket, still looking, rolling left, got room to run, and nice job making something out of nothing.
Yeah, and he stopped the clock, which is a good thing. Okay, guys, I got to admit something to y'all. I cheated.
Well, I thought you might have had a little help. But
I asked the chain crew.
Let me ask you this.
The hardest thing was just hearing what they were saying because I got these earpieces in.
Yeah, well, let me ask you this. Did you see the stew pot that we drove by on the way into the stadium?
That's what you were talking about.
That was your clue.
Hey, this is a huge play right here, 33.
2 each way.
Oh, no. Face mask.
Handoff. Surely, there's the flag. There's the flag.
Got it. Got the face mask.
I don't think you believed me when I told you we drove by a clue. So Jacksonville.
It was too late for me to see it.
There you go. So Jacksonville will pick up the first down after the penalty.
That's a break because that is not going to be a first down. It's going to be fourth down and about 2. I mean, he was like maybe 4th and 1. But Jacksonville gets the break. Thank goodness my goodness, I should say, because Sulphur Springs has had nothing but breaks tonight on those kinds of plays. The face masks and the not strip fumbles that's blown dead and, So first down for Jacksonville. It pushes the ball to the Sulphur Springs 46. You got to make it happen right here. Got plenty of time. You're only down 2 scores.
Trips right, 1 left. Go the Indian receivers. McCowan looking for a receiver, rolling left. Now going to keep it himself. Makes, again, something out of nothing as he gets around left in for a nice gain.
I got to tell you, it's Sulphur Springs secondary. They're legit. I mean, they are covering up some pretty good receivers in D1 commit, Lamar University, Coda Kennedy, UTSA commit, Devin McEwen, and Jermaine Taylor. I mean, they're doing a nice job. Or either that or Ryan McCown is just having to scramble for his life and he can't find them. That may be part of it too.
Trips right, 1 left. Go the Indian receivers this time. McCowan sets, throws deep. Got a man. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Coda Kennedy.
43 yards to Coda Kennedy. And I spoke too soon about that Sulphur Springs secondary. They let somebody get by him, and it was Coda Kennedy with the reception. I mentioned he had 4 touchdown catches in the 2 scrimmages against Kaufman and Bullard. And they look just like that right there. Nice strike by Ryan McCown gets Jacksonville's first touchdown of the 2022 season. It's 12-6. And now Jacksonville has a chance to cut this thing to 5. Here's Jesus Nunez out of the hold of Ryan McCown.
Extra point attempts are brought to you by our friends at Neighbors Coffee. Nunez kick is partially blocked. It's no good.
Oh, man.
Sulphur Springs with a chance to return this for 2. And barring any flags, they will.
It's still a 1-score game with that 2-point conversion. Wait a minute. What are y'all doing? There's no extra point. What are y'all doing? Defense. We're not running. Jacksonville's running through like it's going to be an extra point. No. It's 2 points. Come on back. It's kickoff time.
So after the defensive 2 points with 9:33 to go in regulation, the score Sulphur Springs 14, Jacksonville 6. And Matt, that could be a huge turning point in the ball game.
Yeah, I mean, big time. I mean, you know, you're looking at scoring again. You get the extra point, you get the touchdown, you got a possible win. Now you got to score and get the 2-point conversion. Man, that's why special teams is so important. I mean, that's what Jason Holman talked about. How prophetic was he when he said this game's going to be decided by special teams? And so far, I'm not going to say it's been totally decided by it. We still have 9 minutes and 33 seconds remaining, but it's been a huge part of the game tonight. You know, Sulphur's missed 2 extra points. That's special teams. We've had some bad punts, the special teams. And then you got the 2-pointer right there. Probably the biggest play of all besides running back a kickoff. When you can score points like that. So Cabrera comes out to tee it up at the 40. So 14-6 with 9:33 remaining. It's a pop-up right here.
So, yeah, Jacksonville needs to try to manufacture an extra possession here. Pop-up kick to the far side, though, fielded cleanly with a fair catch.
So Jacksonville defensively just go out, force a 3-and-out. Still got plenty of time here.
And so far, Matt, in the second half, the Jacksonville defense has answered the bell.
Well, they have, and you got to give Jacksonville's defense credit. I mean, tonight, I mean, it's the offense. I'm sorry. There's no other way to say it. The offense has been just so unproductive tonight, shockingly, after they were so productive in the 2 scrimmages. I mean, it's just not been a pretty sight tonight offensively. There's no other way to say it.
So Driver hands off straight ahead to Rowland, who makes his way out to the 31.
And I think a lot of it is just getting in sync and getting in that rhythm we talk about. It's as Caden Franklin's kind of limping. No, he says, I'm okay, I'm going to stay. Thought he was coming out. I mean, it is such a trite saying. People say rhythm all the time. You got to get in a rhythm. But, you know, when you have a first game and you have so many prolific guys on offense, D1 commits, and you only have 6 points on the scoreboard, you know, there's something amiss right there as far as timing and getting in sync.
So now 2 receivers to the left as Driver rolls that way. Here comes Jacksonville, but Driver able to sneak out of bounds after a nice gain.
See the spot right there. He got out of bounds to stop the clock. It's going to be short by about 2 yards, so it'll be 3rd and 2. Driver's limping a little bit. When he went out of bounds, he kind of started slowing down and grabbed his back again. Yeah,
that may hurt him a little more tomorrow as he keeps and
Good
moves
grief,
the pile. He's
tackling.
got first down yardage and more out to the 46-yard line of Jacksonville.
Man, that is just not a very good effort right there by Jacksonville defensively when the quarterback can move the pile by himself and two Jacksonville guys on him. I mean, it's not like he's Mike Van Alstad or whatever that guy's name was for the Tampa Bay Bucks that dragged everybody across the field. First down at the 46 of Sulphur. Time starts to become an issue as we move toward the 8-minute mark.
Bad snap, but Driver's got it back. He hands it off, though, and Roland goes straight down.
That looked like one of those sweat snaps.
Yeah.
You know, your hands are sweaty and it just kind of slips and dribbled back.
Well, and Driver, though, he's sort of doubled over here. He's still struggling, I think.
Well, you know, as weird as it sounds, I think he hurt his back reaching down to get that snap. He just reached down really fast and he came up and you could see him grimace. He's a gamer. I got to give it to him. I mean, he keeps running hard. Milking that clock. Second down 12 now for Sulphur at their own 44.
Play clock at 7. Driver going to pass to his left side. 1-on-1 over there, incomplete.
Decent coverage by Cash Bearden. He just lost the ball. He was right there with the receiver. And when he lost the ball, fortunately, it's number, who's that, number 6? Yeah, that's Skylar Lewis. It wasn't able to come down with us. So 3rd and 12 as McEwen will check in the game. Shoemaker will come out as the Indians put the nickel package in.
Get that extra defensive back in what is an obvious passing situation. Driver over the middle.
Golly bum.
Caught for a first down.
Cannot believe it. He gets the first down by a yard. Just poor tackling. Well, I know what Coach Holman's going to be working on this week. I mean, you're right there to make the play. The guy catches it. He lands on his feet expecting to get popped, and nothing. Turns around and rolls for 4 or 5 yards for the first down.
First and 10, ball sitting at the Jacksonville 43-yard line. Driver looks right, throws right, screen set up.
And
is incomplete.
That is not a good call. It wasn't a very good no call by the official. Jason Holman talking to him. That was, in basketball, you call that a moving screen.
Yeah.
That's offensive pass interference. The ball's coming out there, and you cannot go block like that off the line of scrimmage. They didn't call it. Jason Holman's still talking to him about it. No call.
Two by two go the Wildcat receivers. Driver looks left, throws left into the slot, complete. Down inside the 30 for first down yardage.
Guys, I think the soft coverage has got to change. I mean, you can't just keep giving up those 7-8 yards and then they catch it and they run for 7. You got to play tight. You got to force them to go by you. They just roll up on them. See the soft coverage? Look at the guy in the slot.
Yep. Now Driver just going to hand off. Good tackling that time.
Fans, stay with us. We'll be announcing, I should say, our Bone Crusher hit of the game, sponsored by Dar Chiropractic. If your body needs an adjustment, call Dr. Darwin Dar, class of 1984. He's your hometown chiropractor. Play of the game, sponsored by Congratulations. Not only does Congratulations provide a weekly award to each player for the play of the game, just go to Tomato Bowl and look at some of the stuff they have up there. It's beautiful. And then Austin Bank with our offensive and defensive players of the game. 2nd and 10 now.
Driver under some pressure. Can Jacksonville get to him? He gets away from 3 fighting Indians. Wow.
He can scoot.
Got to have him there, though.
But great coverage back there by Jalen McGowan, because Driver was looking for Cooper Faircloth in that corner, but man, Jalen McGowan for Jacksonville. Nice coverage, covered him up, forcing a scramble. great spot there. Yeah, they're not going to give him 3. Okay. I got third down. They got second on the scoreboard. Is it second down or third? Yeah, there we go. There's the third.
There you go. You got third down on the chain gang as well. So going with them.
Scoreboard had second. Now they checked it to third. Timeout.
There's your timeout. So we'll take a short break. This is Fighting Indian Football on JHS-Sports.com.
Gene Brumlow, class of 66, and his daughter Ann Farmer proudly support Jacksonville athletics. Come on over to the South Jackson Dairy Queen and get one of their world-famous blizzards. Dairy Queen, where happy tastes good.
Tonight's game statistics are sponsored by Randy Gorham, CPA. Randy Gorham, CPA, the source for your accounting and income tax needs since 1984.
Community is not just a place. It's not just people who live nearby or the name on a city limit sign. No, community is pride. It's support. It's showing up when you're needed without being asked. Community is knowing that you're not alone. It's sharing burdens and successes. Community is beautiful, and community is strong. We've been a community bank for over 100 years, and we've never been more proud to be a part of this community. Austin Bank.
Coming back. And we're back live at Prim Stadium in Sulphur Springs. 5:36 to go in regulation. Score Sulphur Springs 14, Jacksonville 6.
Huge play here.
Yeah, big 3rd and 7.
Monster play. Play the game so far.
Yeah, ball sitting at the Jacksonville 25. Indians defense has answered the bell in this second half. They got to do it one more time at least here. Driver to throw over the middle.
Dropped it. Thank you.
Woo. Incomplete.
Man, what a break. Jacksonville catches another break. And again, that's that play that didn't work a minute ago to Malachi Rowland that was a touchdown. Now that one was underthrown by the quarterback Driver because he had pressure from DeVarian Boyd in the backfield. Underthrows him. So it's 4th and 7 and Sulphur Springs in 4-down territory. They're going to leave their offense on the field as Devin McCune will check in for Shoemaker, the linebacker. So now the Indians have that 5-back nickel package in defensively.
Two receivers left, one to the right. Driver throwing right, one-on-one, touchdown.
Jackson Hare, beautifully thrown ball as Jalen McGowan beat on the play. Oh, boy. That's the nail right there, buddy.
Yep.
Of course, 5:24 remaining. You still got time, but that's a killer.
Yeah, you've got.
I mean, it's 4th down.
You've got time, but you're also. It's also a 3-score game.
Yeah.
Assuming the extra point, which has not been a given for either team tonight. Extra points brought to you by our friends at Neighbors Coffee. And this one on the way and good. Reminder, if you need a little kick, visit our friends downtown Jacksonville at Neighbors Coffee. 5:24 to go in regulation. Score now, Sulphur Springs 21, Jacksonville 6. We'll take a short break and come back for more Fighting Indian Football on JHS-Sports.com.
For the past 40 years, Swink Studio of Dance in Jacksonville has provided instruction in classical ballet, tap, jazz, hip-hop, and contemporary dance styles for students age 4 through high school. Select classes for adults and award-winning competition teams are also available. For more information or to enroll a student, contact the studio today and let's dance.
Bill McRae Ford has been serving East Texans since 1976. They can help you find the best deal on a used car or if you're ready to purchase something new. Open Monday through Saturday. Bill McRae Ford. Come see us.
And we're back live at Prim Stadium in Sulphur Springs. 5:24 to go in regulation. The score now, Sulphur Springs 21, Jacksonville 6. Indians still with time, Matt, but gotta go.
Gotta go. Gotta have something really quick here. Can't be having a long drive.
Kick is on the way. It's a short one. Caught cleanly, but the pursuit all over.
John Johnson
there. So Ryan McCowan brings the Fighting Indians back out.
Yeah, I mean, it's a 2-score game, so, I mean, you got a chance to get a big play and an onside kick maybe. Maybe not. I mean, you know, it just depends on much time's on the clock if you get that first touchdown. We sound hopeful because, hey, you know, Jacksonville has those kind of guys. You saw it a moment ago with Cole Kennedy. They can score from any place on the field.
It is 1st and 10, ball on the 30-yard line. The scoreboard says 1st and 70, but that's not even yeah, that's not a thing. So McCowan drops back, rolls right. Here comes the pressure.
Throws it away.
Just going to throw it away.
That's smart.
Smart, yep.
Something's up with Devin. He hadn't been in the game the last couple series. I hadn't checked that out, but he hadn't been back in, so to find out what's going on there.
So now 2nd down, 5:14 showing. Of course, the clock stopped after the incompletion. Two receivers each way for McCowan. He's going to roll to his right, going to buy a little bit of time. Throws and almost intercepted as that route got jumped.
Wow. You know, I just didn't think that.
Yeah, Matthew Clark.
I didn't think Sulphur Springs. I mean, my understanding coming into the ballgame, they had 2 sophomore guys in the secondary that Jackson was going to pick on. Well, that role reversed. It's like they're picking on Jacksonville. It's been a long night offensively for the Fighting Indians.
And there's Devin.
All right, good.
So now 2 receivers each way for McCowan. McCowan going to climb up in the pocket, going to throw over the middle. Caught.
I just went up to Devin and he was bent
There's
over.
Devin.
There was something with his stomach. I don't know if he's got an upset stomach or what, but he's back in the game with that catch right there for the first down.
So now down under 5 minutes to go in regulation. You got to go very quick if you're Jacksonville.
Can't go this slow. Got to go.
2 receivers each way. McCowan needs time, looking, loading up. Here comes the pressure, and throws incomplete, looking for McEwen.
This is just a completely different look for Jacksonville offensively than the 2 scrimmages. And I know they were scrimmages, they're controlled scrimmages, but it just looks like the routes aren't, they're not developing. The route trees, something's not right because Ryan has had some time on some of these throws, and he's holding on to the ball. Somebody's not open, or I guess.
Well, we have praised the secondary for the Sulphur Springs team, and they have earned it.
Inside screen.
Just a screen pass there, and nice yards after the catch.
John Johnson.
As Johnson will be down to make this a 3rd and makeable. 4:15 and counting again. Jacksonville got to go here. Little surprised how slow these plays are developing. 2 each way go the receivers. The handoff straight ahead.
Got to get the first down.
Good for the Bill McRae Ford first down. That'll stop the clock to move the chains. Jacksonville's got to have the play and get to the line.
Get up to the line of scrimmage. They're under 4 minutes. They just turned the clock back on.
They did not stop.
The chains ain't even.
The chains had not moved.
Did that rule change? Maybe it changed. I don't know.
It may have. If it did, Matt,
I'll
missed
check that
it
out this week, but that may have changed.
There you go. McCowan.
Look at this.
Happy feet back there. Coverage is good. He's got nowhere to go. Just throws it away.
We got a flag for holding.
Yeah, they're looking for grounding on the Sulphur Springs sideline.
Yeah, I think Ryan. Let's see the call here. I mean, Ryan was all the way on the sideline when that flag came in the middle of the field.
So yeah, so that's
frustrating. I mean, the hold doesn't matter right there. I mean,
yep. But that's the call. It is a hold.
We're going to get Hagan Ray for the hold. Keep it at first down. It'll be 1st and 20. Take a shot. I mean, just take a shot like you did a minute ago with Coda. I mean, you don't have to have a big drop back. Just take it and sling it. Let him go get it.
McCowan looking, loading. And that will just about do it, that interception, Matt.
Yeah, 3:10 remaining. That was the last hope right there. And just the tip drill right there. Not a bad throw by Ryan. Just a lot of heat on the throw, and it bounced off Devin's hands, and there you go. New staff, hey, you got to learn each other. And Sulphur Springs tonight, they showed that they've learned their staff a little bit quicker. So 21-6 is something that Jacksonville's going to have to work on.
I'd be interested to know when the Sulphur Springs staff was completed, because we did hear Coach Holman talk about the staff in Jacksonville getting together a little bit later.
Yeah, good question.
And so just a question that I have. Handoff is straight ahead for a few.
Nice tackle by Caden Franklin, who, by the way, we'll go and announce it now, but Caden Franklin gets the Bone Crusher hit of the game. The Bone Crusher hit of the game is sponsored by Dar Chiropractic. If your body needs an adjustment, call Dr. Darwin Dar, JHS class of 1984, and a pretty good linebacker back in the day was Dr. Dar. He's your hometown chiropractor, so congratulations to Caden Franklin for being named the Bone Crusher hitter of the game.
So 2:30 and counting. Sulphur Springs just going to milk the clock and see this one out. The handoff is to Roland, a stretch play to the right side. He's got lots of room to run down near the 40.
Jacksonville burns a timeout. That's their first. They'll have 2 remaining.
Well, the clock is not stopped. And now it has.
It should be 2:15.
And we'll step away for the short break. This is Fighting Indian Football on JHS-sports.com.
Community is not just a place. It's not just people who live nearby or the name on a city limit sign. No, community is pride. It's support. It's showing up when you're needed without being asked. Community is knowing that you're not alone. It's sharing burdens and successes. Community is beautiful, and community is strong. We've been a community bank for over 100 years, and we've never been more proud to be a part of this community. Austin Bank.
Back live. 2:12 showing on the clock. I think Sulphur Springs might have run an extra 3 seconds off their little hometown clock operating, but Matt, as that timeout was called.
Yeah, a little slow on the tick there.
The driver going to put up a deep ball. Not sure about that. It's knocked away. Good coverage.
What an interesting call that was. John Johnson, nice coverage knocking that away. Huh. You'd think they just run the ball, huh?
Yep. Guess they want to.
I mean, why give Jacksonville a chance to get a pick right there and run it back and have a chance to, I don't know.
Yeah.
Hey, he was in the playoffs 12 or 13 years at Port Neches Groves, not me. So, there you go.
That's true.
Talking about Coach Faircloth of Sulphur there. So, 4th and 3. And driver will come on to punt the football.
Punt's a good one. Will bounce inside the 20. It's
he tried to field it.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, knocked it out of bounds.
That could have been a disaster.
Next week, White House comes to town. I guess we could call it a longtime rival. Actually, those. You know what the record is between Jacksonville and White House? I mean, between the teams.
What is it, Matt?
It used to be really bad in Jacksonville's favor.
Yeah.
And then the 2000s hit, and then the Mahomes era hit. They're tied 15-all. Jacksonville and White House.
So something's got to give at Tomato Bowl next week.
Yeah, rubber match just like tonight. It's 4-4. Sulphur Springs is going to most likely come away with a win and lead the series 5-4. So here's Ryan McCown with the football for Jacksonville at their own 15. Jaden Boyd in the backfield with him. And you see the soft coverage on Coda Kennedy. They're not going to try to let him get by him again.
So McCown may have a little time to set. He does. Complete over the middle.
Nice catch and run by Nehemiah Boyd.
First time we've called his name tonight.
Yeah.
Had Nehemiah and Malachi feature in this ball game.
Hey, we also have Elijah, number 88 for Jacksonville, Elijah Whitaker.
Distinctly Old Testament feel tonight.
Yeah. The big fella.
Swing pass out to Boyd, and he'll just move a couple of Wildcats.
Oh, come on, Jermaine. Come on now.
Things getting a bit chippy. That's one that I don't think you can blame on not hearing the whistle either.
No, he's just frustrated. But, if you're going to be a Division I recruit, you got to act like a D1 recruit, and that's what Jermaine is. He's got a lot of schools talking to him, and you got to maintain that composure. Coaches look at that.
So now 2nd and 5. Jacksonville, the ball sitting at the 33-yard line. McCown under pressure. Just going to fling this into the turf. That'll likely draw a grounding flag.
No, he just lost the ball, and they said
they'll call it an incomplete pass.
Yeah, because his arm was going forward.
Arm's going forward when he's hit. Okay.
I mean, they're just shoving Jacksonville's offensive line in the backfield, man. There's just no other way to say it. They're just bull rushing them.
Yep.
And it's not just one guy; it's all four of them.
Yeah. Now McCown going to roll to his left, still looking for a man, and they're all covered up, so he'll get a few and get out of bounds.
Fans, stay with us. We'll have our post-game report with statistics sponsored by Randy Gorham, CPA since 1984.
Should note that McCowan in the last run did pick up the Bill McRae Ford first down. I want to thank Bill McRae for all their support.
Always. Boy, Tim and them, they really support all JISD.
Trips right, one left. This time for McCowan, loading up, going deep. Incomplete.
Looking for the sophomore Elijah Whitaker. They call him Zeke.
Yeah, actually had a little bit of car trouble earlier this week myself. Kevin McDonald and the service department there at Bill McRae Ford getting me back on the road, so thanks to those guys.
Kevin's great. So is Debbie. She works in the service department too, man. They take care of you. So Jawalen Kennedy will check out. Looks like he's holding his hand a little bit. Be all right. Clock stops at 47 seconds.
Two each way go the Indian receivers. McCown looking for one of them, and he can't find anyone. I'll tell you what, Matt, this Sulphur Springs coverage unit, boy, they have been all over everybody.
Well, what I'm starting to see, and of course the ball game's about over, and I'm starting to see it. That's how slow I am. But what I'm noticing is that when Ryan McCown takes the snap and he starts back, he has to look to get away from the defenders. He's not able to look and see his route, the guys on the route, because he's trying to escape. It's hard to keep your eyes downfield when you're just trying to keep from being sacked. That's the problem.
3rd and 10 now is McCown again under pressure, and then toss over the middle falls incomplete.
And Ryan McCown talking to his line right now, barking at him a little bit.
Saying, help me out, guys.
Yeah, just give me a chance. I mean, the bottom line is that you know what you got to work on. You know what you got to get done. I mean, could Ryan get rid of the ball a little bit quicker? Maybe. But if he does, that's going to change the route tree. You can't be 15, 16 yards down the field. It's going to be 4 or 5 yards down the field. But that's not the scheme. So you got to have protection.
McCown needs time.
There he's got some there.
Finally got a little. Now he'll load up and fire.
It's going to be a late hit on McCown. It looks like on this side of the field after the pick. Threw it into coverage there trying to find Coda Kennedy, but this late flag may negate that. But nevertheless, 16 seconds. Let's see the call here. Yeah, and again, I don't want to rag on the offensive line. I don't want to blame them for anything. That's not it. That's not the point. It's, football's a unit. It's 11 guys all doing their job, and if one or two guys misses some, I think it affects the whole unit. And that's what I'm seeing tonight. It's just not cohesive. Uh-oh. That was against Jacksonville.
Yeah, it was an offensive personal foul.
All right.
And so the interception stands. Just tough night for Ryan McCown.
Very tough night. I talked to him last night at the JV game. He was so excited about getting a senior season started tonight. And but this is a test of your character. It didn't start off the way you wanted it. You still have 9 more games to make some noise and do some things and get some things corrected. And it starts with White House next Friday night. Well, actually starts tomorrow morning when you go to the field house and start watching film, correcting stuff.
And you have 6 games later in the year that really matter where you've really got to be firing. So you've still got some time to get some things ironed out.
Oh, yeah. That's going to do it.
Driver will take a knee. That will do it. The final tonight from Gerald Prim Stadium, Sulphur Springs Wildcats 21, the Fighting Indians of Jacksonville 6. And so the 2022 season begins with a tough loss for Jacksonville. Lots to work on, but lots to take into White House week, Matt. Always
a fun week.
Always a fun week and an important one. Now they're not district foes anymore, but you still want to have a good showing against the Wildcats, and that of course will be at Tomato Bowl next week.
So looking at our awards that we'll hand out, we'll get head coach Jason Holman on the All Smiles post-game interview when he gets through talking to his team. But earlier we announced the Bone Crusher hit of the game, sponsored by Dar Chiropractic, your hometown chiropractor, Dr. Darwin Dar, JHS class of 1984. That goes to Caden Franklin, who, by the way, also blocked 2 extra points tonight, 2 from his defensive tackle position. A heck of a game by the senior and 3-year starter, Caden Franklin. The play of the game, sponsored by Congratulations. Not only does Congratulations provide a weekly award to each player for the play of the game, just go to Tomato Bowl, look over the stadium, and you'll see the kind of work that Congratulations can do for you or your business. Congratulations is your hometown awards and engraving store. And the play of the game goes to Ryan McCown, the quarterback, who had a tough night all night long, throwing the 43-yard touchdown pass to Coda Kennedy. And speaking of Coda Kennedy, he is the offensive player of the game, sponsored by Austin Bank, your community bank, locally owned and operated since 1900. Coda Kennedy, who caught that 43-yard touchdown from Ryan McCown, the offensive player of the game for Jacksonville. Defensive player of the game for Jacksonville, a heck of a game, the senior. Devarian Boyd, the 6'4", 250-pound defensive tackle. Heck of a game from that position, making a lot of tackles. Those are your awards. Guys, why don't y'all run through the Randy Gorham CPA statistics, and we'll let Coach Holman talk to his team, and then we'll get his comments.
We'll do that. We'll bring Todd Travis back in to break down the post-game stats of what has to be said is a very disappointing opening ball game for the Fighting Indians. Todd, 21-6. They fall to the Wildcats of Sulphur Springs. Let's break it down.
Oh, look at there. Popped up right in time. Our stats for the Indians tonight: 51 plays on offense, 232 yards of total offense, 151 yards passing, 81 yards rushing. Individual stats: McCowan finished the game 13 completions on 33 attempts for 151 yards, 1 touchdown and 3 interceptions. Leading receiver was Coda Kennedy with 2 catches for 50 yards and the 1 touchdown. McEwen had 4 catches for 44 yards. And then we had 5 other receivers make a catch. So, rushing, Kennedy had 6 carries for 41 yards. McCowan had 6 for 21 yards. McEwen had 1 for 11. And Boyd had 5 carries for 8 yards. If we compare that to Sulphur Springs tonight, their offense had 66 plays for 324 yards with 145 yards passing and 179 yards rushing. Their quarterback Driver finished 13 completions on 21 attempts for 145 yards and 1 touchdown. Their leading rusher was Rowland, of course, with 26 carries for 96 yards and 2 touchdowns. And the quarterback Driver finished with 17 carries for 83 yards.
Yeah, those two guys, Driver and Rowland, they're going to be tired tomorrow. They were the workhorses of this offense for sure.
And Driver was beat up. He just kept going.
Yeah, he did.
Looked like his ankle was wrapped. He was limping. Probably back issues.
Yeah, at halftime we were certain that we would not see him again.
It did not look like it when you saw him at the end of the first half. You thought, he's done.
Yeah.
But he's definitely a player.
Yes, he was. And he led his team to an opening win, the first for new Sulphur Springs head coach Faircloth, Brandon Faircloth, who made his way to Hopkins County from Port Neches Groves, where he was very successful over 13 seasons. And he has brought some of that success here to Wildcat Country. We'd like to, again, thank Randy Gorham, CPA, for his sponsorship of the statistics all season long here for Fighting Indian football. Randy is your hometown CPA for all your tax and other accounting needs. He has been since 1984. Big thanks to Randy for all of his support. As the Fighting Indians post-game team talk is breaking up, Matt, we'll send it down to you for a word with head coach Jason Holman.
Catch Coach Holman here. Coach, I know it's a disappointing start, but it saw some good things and some things obviously need to work on. That's what first games are for. But, it just seemed like things just never could get really in sync. And it felt weird, especially in the first half. Second half, you got off to a great start. You go 3 and out, then you go down and score. Yeah. It's just a strange game.
Well, new system, both sides of the ball and in the kicking game. I mean, it's all brand new. There was some thinking going on in the first quarter. We've got to translate that into habit and execution and not thinking. And, yeah, you're right. I mean, we just got to get in sync from the word go. We got to get something going offensively to get in some kind of rhythm, and we didn't do that tonight.
And you said coming into the ball game, you told your team all week, special teams. I think you said it in smoke signals. Special teams could decide the ball game. So you go in and score, and it's 12-6, and they get the special teams too. Kind of took a little bit away from the score.
It did. Huge momentum swing right there. Even though it's 2 points, just from a morale standpoint, that's something you don't want to give up. We should have picked it up. We should have made a fire call and rolled out, and we didn't do that. But, you know, I mean, overall, I'm very proud of the effort the kids gave. And the biggest thing that I told them just now is you answered the question in my mind of would we fight for 4 quarters, and they absolutely will. And that's exciting to me as a head coach.
And you said it, Coach. New system, trying to get used to everybody. And when you get in the fire, I mean, the scrimmages are not real ball games. I mean, you get under the fire in the Friday Night Lights, and you got all the crowd and everything. And it's good to hear that they did answer the bell. I know the outcome wasn't what you wanted, but you got a chance. White House comes in next week, a district rival, former district rival, and they're going to be tough too.
Yeah, we're going to be ready for them. Yeah. I'm going to tell you, these kids, they're going to go to work. They're going to show up, and we're going to put our head down and go to work, and we're going to fix the problems that need to be fixed. You know, it's preseason. Yeah. New coach, new system, new coaches, new system. I mean, everything's new. We'll get the kinks worked out. We'll come back fighting.
Coach, thanks. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Head Coach Jason Holman on the All Smiles post-game interview. We appreciate All Smiles sponsoring all of our conversations with Head Coach Jason Holman. Guys, not a great start, but, you know, like Coach Holman just said, you got 9 more games. You're going to come back. Starts tomorrow morning when the kids come in and look at film. Back to you guys.
That's right, Matt. And, of course, the next game is at home at the historic Tomato Bowl, downtown Jacksonville, next Friday night. Kickoff set for 7:30. We will be live with the countdown to kickoff beginning at 6:45. But that will do it for tonight here at Gerald Prim Stadium in Sulphur Springs. For our statistician, Todd Travis, our producer, Ryan Travis, and Matt Montgomery, this is Aaron Swink saying thanks for listening to Jacksonville Fighting Indian Football on JHS-sports.com. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Good night.